Welcome to the Ice Sports Centrum Tilburg in the Netherlands. In just over a week's time, the ISU Short Track Crystal Globes will be handed out in Milan, Italy. But before we get there, a whole lot of the story remains to be written. The home stretch of the inaugural ISU Short Track World Tour begins this afternoon in Tilburg, the fifth of 6 stops just moments away. A look around Tilburg, a city we've enjoyed getting out to explore a little bit over the course of the week. And there's a look at the Ice Sports Centrum, normally the home of the Tilburg Trappers ice hockey team. Today, the building repurposed a little bit for short track. There is the schedule. The medals today, the men's 1500, the women's 1000 as well. And then it will wrap up a little bit later on this afternoon with 500s and the women's relay. And the men's relay semifinals as well. Long program, but it will start to really fly by, especially when the medals get handed out. Gavin Day here in the booth once again. Tyler Dara alongside me. And Tyler, as expected, plenty of Dutch fans filing in, excited for this one.
Yeah, we're going to have a tremendous crowd this weekend, Gavin, at the World Tour stop in Tilburg. Always an excited fan base, well-educated fan base, and they love their speed skating, whether it's long track or short track. So great to have this energetic crowd here today.
We're just dancing around to, yeah, you heard it, some Neil Diamond. I think it was a remixed version of it, though, as well. Got to get the Euro techno beats in there. And yeah, the show before the show is racing getting underway in just a few moments' time. We are in there somewhere. It's a smaller facility than what we had in the Netherlands last year in Rotterdam for the World Championships, but it's a low ceiling. People packed in here are expecting them to bring the noise. They did even on qualifying day, not something we've always seen, but particularly that afternoon. It was kids in the morning packing in, bringing noise, and then the very long afternoon session yesterday. People were in here making a lot of noise. We can only expect that to get louder, especially in the medal races, especially if there are any of the Dutch Lions involved.
Well, we're kicking it off with the men's 1,500 meter. This distance has been dominated by William Danjanu this season. He's won 3 out of 4 1,500 meter events. 1 win to Park Ji-won, but as we know, the story has been the absence of the Korean White Tigers.
They are over in Harbin, China, as part of the Asian Winter Games, and by all measures, they are absolutely cleaning up there, as you might expect. Just a quick check-in at some of those results. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 gold medals, and then they have a whole whack. I think it was something like 9 or 10 medals on the first day of competition there. They will be back next weekend as we drop the curtain on the first ISU Short Track World Tour in Milan, the Olympic test event. But yeah, for this weekend, there are no Korean White Tigers. The Chinese Lungs have sent a lot of their top skaters over to Harbin as well, but those stepping in to fill their places are also really up to the task, at least so far.
Well, I think one skater looking to upset William Danjanu's dominance in the 1,500 meter is just about to hit the ice, and that's Jens van 't Wout. He's won 1,000 meter this year on the World Tour. He's going to want to claim that 1,500 meter win today here at home.
And when any Dutch Lions orange kit hits the ice, they will announce them, and we'll just kind of soak that in, because we know it is going to be a rousing ovation for any home nation skater. There is Jens van 't Wout right there. Sven Roos, one of 2 Dutch skaters in heat number 1 of the 1,500 meter semifinal. Just to run through things, 3 heats. The first has 7 skaters, the back 2, 8 skaters. It is going to be some pretty packed ice. Top 2 from each race, and a maximum of 1 third place skater will qualify for the A final, and then they'll divvy up the B final as well. And some skaters may not even get a final. You saw the start list: Jens van 't Wout, Sven Roos from the Dutch Lions, Song Guishu from the Chinese Lungs, Thomas Natalini of the Italian Gladiators, Stephen Dubois of the Canadian Ice Maples, Rainis Berzins of the Latvian Golden Stars, and Clayton DiClemente of the USA Eagles. If you think this start line is full, I'll just let that soak in for a little bit. The home skaters, we think this start line is full. We're just getting started.
Absolutely. It only builds from here.
So with 7 skaters, they will be on 2 lines, one right behind the other, but the opening does not really matter as much in the 1500. So always the big question, will some of the skaters go for time? How will this race play out? If there is an advancement, of course, that just throws the 3rd place opportunity right out the window. And in the early going, maybe Clayton DiClemente wanting to pick it up a little bit.
Well, some key skaters to watch in this race. As I've already mentioned, Jens van 't Wout. He's been skating terrifically this season. Watch for Thomas Natalini. He's an incredible late passer. And, of course, Stephen Dubois. He's got top speed and he's got passing capability. So watch for those guys striking in this race.
Van 't Wout, a bronze medal in the 1500. When last we saw the World Tour in Seoul, that was behind the evergreen battle between Park Ji-won and William Dongenew. And look at Dubois just gliding around to the front.
Yeah, Dubois was sitting all the way in the back of the pack. This is a strong field. You don't want to be caught back in this race at all. It's hard to overcome that many skaters. And here's Natalini on the outside. Clayton DiClemente also looking to move back up to the front. That's obviously his strategy, is getting near the lead of this race.
The more intense it gets, the faster it goes, the more there is that opportunity for the unpredictable. DiClemente has shown no fear this season in the big races. Even if it ultimately came for naught, he's been not afraid to try to make a pass, make a move. But Natalini, one of the taller skaters out on the ice.
Stephen Dubois, nice little inside move, sitting in behind Natalini. It's a great spot to be right now. Jens van 't Wout not letting those 2 get away from him. And there they are, those big 3 right in the lead of this race. Natalini doing some work up front. Stephen Dubois sitting in that draft.
And it's really the big 3 at the moment. Sven Roos getting around DiClemente. And always watching Van 't Wout and Dubois. A bit of a collision there.
Yeah, skates getting entangled a little bit, but they're on their feet.
Natalini still leading the round at the bell. Thomas Natalini. Now the Dutch lines 2 and 3. Now they try to flank Thomas Natalini. Van 't Wout gets around, takes the win in semifinal number 1, and Roos gets up there, I think gets second.
What a race by Roos. That's an upset for sure. Look at that. The 2 Dutch lines coming through at the finish, 1 and 2.
Sven Roos is not a name we've really called a lot this season, but cometh the hour, cometh the man.
Well, that's the performance you're looking for at home. You get that added boost of energy being at your home crowd. That's going to punch his ticket. We'll wait for the official. There's the click of the skate between Dubois and Jens van 't Wout. That kind of kills the speed of Dubois. It's difficult to regain that speed when you have that fatigue in your legs at the end of the race. Here's Roos moving up the inside.
And that was the battle for the lead right at the death. And yeah, Roos got it.
So Natalini really lost his speed. He suffered his speed with that pass from Jens van 't Wout on the inside of that last turn, and that gave Roos the opportunity to get him at the line.
And so we watched that 3rd place time, 2:16.309. Thomas Natalini now on the clock. He has 2 races to wait for to see if that time holds up. Dubois going to the B final. And heat number 2 has the man who has been overpowering in many races this year. The Crystal Globe leader by a wide margin, the Ice Maples, William Dongenew, the Canadian, absolutely exploding this season. Showed signs of it last year, a couple of World Cup wins, and then a World Championship in the 1,000, and he has just been a force in every single event this season.
Well, in this next semifinal, we have a few skaters that like to get to the front. Robert Krusbergs, he likes to lead. He's showing his strength in doing that in the 1,000-meter. Niall Tracy, another skater, likes to be up front.
Start list: Dongenu, Zhang Bohao, a youngster from the Chinese Lungs, Robert Krusbergs, Brendan Corey, of course, World Championship bronze medalist, Maxime Laoun, a Canadian returning to the senior circuit this year, was not really there at the start of the year, Lucas Speckenhauser of the Italian Gladiators, Niall Tracy, the British Royals, and Mohamed Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars. And so in the early going, it's the Maple Leafs 1 and 2, and so we'll see a lot of skaters, as Tyler mentioned, who like to be on the front, like to lead, forcing other guys to pass. A guy like Robert Krusbergs, once he's on the front, it is a monumental task passing him. But of course, Dongenu is exactly the same. If he wants to be at the front, it is a tall order to get around him. Laoun, 28-year-old from Montreal.
William Dangenu taking that lead back. He's another skater that likes to go to the front. He has the speed, he has the stamina, and he has the track pattern to defend. Brendan Corey, though, not wasting any time.
Representing the Australian Racing Roos, and he has a whole cadre of skaters right behind him, including Krusbergs and Dongenu. Speckenhauser also wanting to join them. Everybody now eyeing the front.
Well, here's Krusbergs in that lead position as we expected. Niall Tracy now looking for his chance to the front, but he's got some work to do to get around.
And Robert Krusbergs, one of the stronger guys you'll see on tour. If anyone goes shoulder to shoulder with him, I wish them luck. And Dongenu for the lead.
Well, Dongenu saw Tracy going outside, so he knew that was his opportunity to jump up the inside. A little contact there, bumping Niall Tracy out. He's going to want to try to work his way in. He's been trapped on the outside for a little while, and that's going to cost the legs a bit.
Tracy does finally hit the front. He took a bump earlier, was forced out wide, and came back and won his race. And so showing an incredible unflappability. But it's still Tracy of the British Royals. Would love to try to get on the podium for the second time this season. Dongenu now at the bell, leading. Speckenhauser makes the move into second. Krusbergs trying to get up into third, but it is Dongenu. Krusbergs and Tracy go down as Dongenu and Speckenhauser go 1 and 2. Zhang Bohao gets over for third ahead of Brendan Corey.
Krusbergs making that last moment pass into the final turn to try to better his position. Maybe he's thinking about that time advancement. That was a quicker race, but unfortunate incident where he went down alongside Niall Tracy.
And so, yeah, by about 2.5 seconds faster than that first race.
Here's another look at that pass by Krusbergs up the inside. Shoulder of Tracy kind of contacts with Krusbergs, and that sends them down. Never feels good when you got two skaters going down together side by side like that, because the first skater makes contact with the mats, that takes the impact, and then they have nowhere else to go.
And so what is being investigated is a possible illegal late pass. And so just diving in a little bit too late to create that contact. And so that review is underway. The officials on the ice, the officials in the review room will discuss. They'll punch the numbers into the computer, and then they'll come out to make an announcement if there is any race-affecting decision. One more heat still to go. Another one with 8 skaters.
Well, we had one look at that inside pass from Krusbergs there. I think we're going to probably get another replay here. But that's the incident they're investigating.
But Dongenu again showing the benefits of getting to the front. You let all the theatrics happen behind you.
Well, what you saw from Danjanu in that race is he would get to the front, you maybe get overtaken, he'd be sitting in second, but as soon as he felt someone else making a move, he would then make another quick pass to get back towards the front, and even if he gets overtaken again, he's still in second. So he's always positioning himself near the lead there, and he's just so quick and agile at making passes that he can do so.
Head on a swivel, and you can see maybe what they're looking at. The camera quickly cut away. The buttons showing advance, penalize, advance to the A, advance to the B. And so now we wait. And to the center of the ice.
After review, we give penalty to skater number 19 from Latvia and give advancement to skater number 27 to Great Britain.
There you go. And so Niall Tracy advanced to the B final. He was not in a position to advance to the A final when the incident happened. And so Kreuzberg's with the penalty. Brendan Corey to the B final. Maxime Laoun will wait and see. But Danjanu, Speckenhauser are indeed in the A final. And Zhang Bohao just has to wait for one more race to see if his time holds up. And we'll get a look at the incident.
So let's watch Kreuzberg's here in fourth place, looking for that inside move. He's inside the corner, or straightaway red line there. That's the late pass. You see the skaters, you see Kreuzberg's doing a good job getting his feet up because you don't want those feet to be down when you know there's another skater coming alongside you.
Heat number 3, 8 skaters. Hayashi Kosei, Miyata Shogo of the Japanese Ninjas, Michał Niewinski of the Polish Hussars, Stan de Smet, the Belgian Ice Bears, Moon Won-jun of the Hungarian Falcons, Pietro Sigel of the Gladiators, Etienne Bastier, one of the good stories we've seen today coming through the repechage, and Peter Yashapati of the Hungarian Falcons. So look there, Pietro Sigel, a man who really never ever gives up, even if he's got a gap in front of him. And you always look at the first stretch, are they going for time? But when a guy like Michał Niewinski gets the front, I'd say a true thoroughbred sprinter, except he's gotten 1,000-meter medals on World Tour this season, but he was a guy you think maybe he's going to slow this one down and save it for a compact race.
That's right. When you're a sprinter, sometimes you want to go to the lead so you can control the start of the race, make sure it's not too quick.
Took a little stumble there. I think he hit one of the markers, but it is the 2 Japanese skater. It's Hayashi Kosei.
If you hadn't heard me talk about Hayashi Kosei yet, I'm going to say it again. Probably the lowest skating skater on the circuit. Just watch his knee angles, just incredibly low. Even in the early laps when you're going slow, you'll see skaters getting a little bit higher typically when the pace is slower, trying to rest the legs. Not Kosei.
Stan de Smet, always one to watch. Sitting in 3rd right now.
Well, let's keep an eye on Peter Sigel, position number 5 right now, right behind Shogo, who's also been skating fantastically at that Seoul World Cup. He's just been getting better and better throughout this World Tour.
Just keep an eye, too. I mean, if repechages, of course, do count for little once you're at this point, but Etienne Bastier, the young French rooster, put in a really nice performance. We'll see how he matches up against some of the bigger guys as Stan de Smet now turns the screws.
Double inside pass by Stan de Smet. Well executed. Nowinski's looking at his blades in the back. Looks like something's off for him, so it looks like he's out of this race. And Stan de Smet continues the lead as Miyata Shogo looks on the outside, gets to the front, and Pietro Sigel jumps up as well. Double inside feet.
Oh! Goodness, there was definite contact between de Smet and Sigel.
Lots of action unfolding here.
So it's the 2 Japanese skaters leading at the bell. Good result for them if it hangs out. Miyata Shogo leading Hayashi Kosei. Etienne Bastier potentially getting up for 3rd place. We'll see how the time holds up. It is a 2:15.4. It's not one of the faster heats, but good result for the Japanese Ninjas going 1-2. So Sigel making the move, then goes into the boards.
Well, Seagal was looking for a double inside pass there. We'll see which replay we're getting here. This is Seagal looking on the inside, jumping up. Kose, Stan DeSmit getting the elbows out a little bit there on the entry, and that knocks Seagal's hips. And as soon as that happens, that really puts you off. Right here, you kind of see that left arm of DeSmit get up.
What they are saying, it's possible at the end of straight, the outside skater didn't give space, and that would have been on DeSmet.
Shogo fortunately stays on his feet because he gets clipped too by Seagal as he's going down. I think Seagal's looking at the refs there saying, do you need me to keep going or do you just want to call it here? Sometimes they have to skate out the remaining lap, but if it's a few, they'll just call the race because it won't impact the result.
And so we know what they are looking at now. The wait begins. But they are punching in results. That means that decisions could be made. There's always 2 video screens, and they're at video screen number 2.
Yeah, so they are investigating an arm push by Stan DeSmit on Seagal there on the entry.
And so looks like decisions have been made. And down to the ice, and there you have it actually on the board.
After review, we give penalty for skater number 8 from Belgium and give advancement to skater number 11 from Italy.
And so DeSmet penalized. Pietro Seagal will go to the A final, which throws out that third place time altogether. And so here is the other look again.
So
push.
Yeah, watch the left arm of DeSmit come down here, move over to the inside, making contact with the hip of Seagal.
And when I'm just watching that red line too, when you're talking about maybe a shared responsibility, Seagal still had one skate on the red line, so he wasn't really fully over in that inner lane and changing lanes. A look at the A final, that will be out shortly, right after the women's 1,000-meter quarterfinals. And looking at the B final, some good results. The likes of Moon Won-jun, Etienne Bastier will pick up some good points. And based on the cheers, I can guess you can imagine who is at the line. It's a skater for the Dutch Lions. There's the starting roster. Sandra Velsborg, Patria Shapati, Natalia Malashevska, Kurokawa Ki, and Elisa Confortola. And of course, Sandra Velzebor, the fastest woman in the world, the record holder, world record holder in the 500 meters. Not skating it here in Tilburg, but she is doing the 1,000 and the 1,500. And whatever the race, she wants to hit the front.
That's right. Sandra Velzebor is dealing with a little bit of a minor knee injury, so she's avoiding those heavy starts at the 500. We saw her skate the 1,500 meter at the European Championships where she won. That was the only event she competed in. Now she's looking to gain some very valuable points in the Crystal Globe standings. So she's in a tight race with Kristen Santos Griswold for that Crystal Globe title this season.
And it's Petra Yashapati, the European champion in the 500 meters on the front. Another skater really making some good strides in the last little while. And then there is Natalia Malashevska, also one to watch if it comes down to a drag-out sprint. But also can't count out Elisa Confortola, who has plenty of hardware to her name. 1,000-meter bronze medalist in Dresden a few weeks ago at the Europeans.
Sandra Velzebor looking full control of this race right now. Nice and relaxed, 2 arms on the back. You can see Yasapati's using her arms to swing, so she's working a little bit harder, looking a little bit more relaxed for Velzebor.
Confortola and Malashevska go shoulder to shoulder. And then I think Confortola might have gotten a shoulder in the mouth. But it is smooth sailing for Sandra Velzebor, and the home fans love it. There is going to be a review, and just running through what we have, 4 heats in the quarterfinals for the 1,000 meters. Top 2 go on automatically, and a maximum of 2 third-place skaters going on to the semifinals. And so looking well for Velzebor and Yashapati right now. And we'll see. And it is looked at as Elisa Confortola on Natalia Malashevska. Failure to give way right there is what's being looked at.
Now, Malashevska's shoulders were still ahead going to that corner, so she had the lead position ahead of Confortala. You can see a little jockeying for position there between those two skaters.
And she was trying to swing her arms to take a stride, and it got right up into Confortala's chin. But that woman looking absolutely comfortable out there.
Big smile and a thumbs up.
Looking relaxed. And there you have it. Nothing in the end. Sandra Velzebor, Petra Yashapati moving into the semifinals. Natalia Malashevska now watches and waits to see if she has one of the potentially 2 fastest third place times to hold up. Heat number 2 out on the ice. 5 skaters, Hanna de Smet of the Belgian Ice Bears, Gloria Ioriatti, and Ariana Fontana of the Gladiators. 2 from Italy out there. Corin Stoddart, one with a bullet to watch right now, very much in the ascendancy, and Sarah Luka Baksky of the Hungarian Falcons.
Well, this is a stacked quarterfinal, Gavin. Ariana Fontana, Corinne Stoddart, Hanna de Smet, all 3 very strong skaters in this race, vying for those 2 positions plus potential times, but it's going to be a battle out here.
Stoddart has a couple of bronze medals on World Tour in the 1,000 meters, and de Smet gets a nice warm ovation. We're not far from the Belgian border. And Fontana, the European champion in the 1,000 meters, getting out of position 5 and has eyes really on the front right now, but she has Corin Stoddart ahead of her.
Fontana really wants that second position behind Stoddart. You can see her going with her immediately, not letting Stoddart get too far out of reach for her. Hanna de Smet saying, no, I want to be at the front. Going on the outside, this race is picking up quickly because these women know you want to be in those top 2 spots.
And this one could be aiming to be for a 3rd place as well. A lot of powerful skaters, and Baksky eases up into 4th. Well, right now, de Smet leading the way.
Well, we're seeing the lap times already, those low to mid 9s, so that's clocking pretty quick. I expect this to be a fast time. Hanna de Smet still building the speed. They know this is a tough race, so they're going to try to ensure that they go through because they can't necessarily count on getting that 1 or 2 position. Hanna de Smet still building out front, down to 9-2.
It is de Smet, Stoddart, and Fontana 1 through 3 right now.
Well, let's keep an eye on Fontana. Just making some track adjustments, so she's still tucked into 3rd.
Stoddart getting a little bit out wide at the bell. De Smet still leading. Stoddart, Fontana, Ioriatti. Who's going to make the late surge? It is de Smet. It is Corin Stoddart, and then it is Ariana Fontana. So in the end, just too much pace for anyone to really make a move.
Well, Hanna de Smet did a great job of taking the lead of that race, pushing the pace, keeping it high, making it very difficult, as we see from some strong skaters following her. They can't pass that easily at that speed. So Hanna de Smet had a fantastic execution of that race, keeping it clean from the front and just pushing the speed.
Stoddart more than happy to just sit into 2nd. Off to the semifinals. Fontana's time 1:29.006. That is faster than Malashevska's 3rd place time from heat number 1. So they are 1 and 2 right now in those supplemental standings.
And if you haven't been paying attention to Gavin's broadcasting of the Long Track World Cups, you would be aware of Ariana Fontana having been doing a ton of racing this season, both on the World Cup circuit and the Short Track World Tour.
To be fair, I actually don't think I've called any of her long track ones this year. I think she's been in B division, the ones I've done.
Team Pursuit, maybe?
Maybe? I can't remember. They all fade into one sort of
You don't
thing.
remember them all?
Well, they're also at weird hours and where I'm not on location for those ones. And so sometimes I've been up in the middle of the night. And I hate to admit, I'm tired then. Anyway, heat number 3. 5 skaters again. Courtney Sereau really looking to be rounding into form after coming back from a concussion late last year. Kamila Stormovska, Kristen Santos Griswold, of course, one to watch. Kim Boutin and Valentina Askic, and Courtney Sereau, who, as I mentioned, back in, was that October? She was up talking with us. She wasn't even on the ice.
That's right.
December, she made the return to the Asian swing. She made an A final in Beijing, and then she had the Canadian trials for the second half of the season and won that, and has looked very confident so far. But of course, USA Eagle, Crystal Globe leader, Kristen Santos Griswold going out of position 3. So another one. This is a quarterfinal. We're going to say this a lot.
Go to the start. Ready.
Just a testament to the growing depth in this sport.
Well, Kristen Santos Griswold, I don't think it was quite the result she was hoping to get out of Montreal stops in the World Tour, but was she ever on form in the Asian swing? She picked up a 500 and 1500 meter gold medal in Seoul, so she's really coming into shape right now, and right away going to the front. Kim Boutin responding up the inside. Pace is already moving too on this race.
Boutin, the 500-meter world champion, certainly one who's not afraid to bring the pace, but there's a long way to go. This isn't a 500. It's a longer sprint if it is going like this one.
All right, watch Sereau. Looked like she's building up, looking on the outside, trying to build some speed, go wide. Here it is.
She gets around Stormovska, gets around Santos Griswold. No, not quite. Santos Griswold goes down. There was a bump right on the corner. And it's Sereau now out to the front.
Well, Sereau and Kristen Santos were shoulder to shoulder on that exit. We'll have to wait the review. That looked like a little bit of a racing incident for my eye up here, but we'll wait for it. Kim Boutin wants to close that gap a little bit on Courtney Sereau, but Sereau's looking so strong right now. Stormovska looking up the inside, clashing skates with Boutin, going down.
And that is Stormovska just going into the back of Boutin. I don't know what Boutin knew of that, but now it's just down to 3. And Valentina Askic trying to make a late move for the Croatian Dalmatians, but Sereau, Boutin 1 and 2. Askic up for third with a 1:31. And that would be not one of the faster third places, but they are taking a look at the incident between Sereau and Kristen Santos Griswold, and it looks like it has actually now been cleared.
We'll see if we get a look at it here. As I was mentioning, this is Sereau going on the outside, and this corner is going to go shoulder to shoulder with Santos Griswold. Just Kristen Santos just goes a little bit off balance, and again, that's kind of a racing incident. It's an unfortunate racing incident, but nothing intentional from Sereau to make an aggressive move.
And you can always, the one thing we've sort of learned, or I've sort of learned, is look at whose shoulders, whose hips are ahead, and they were almost side by side around that corner.
Yeah. There's that clash of the skates between Boutin and Stormovska.
But the one thing I know about Kristen Santos Griswold, speaking to her in Beijing, she was just kind of making light of the amount of times she took hits in Montreal, and she bounced back, and I have no doubt she will again.
Well, this is interesting here too, because with Kristen Santos Griswold not going through on this event, but Xandra Velzebor have gone through, there's going to be a point swing on this, and as we know, it's a 10-point differential right now between Xandra Velzebor and Kristen Santos Griswold,
which might as well be nothing when it's something like 10 points. And so at least the first blood in this weekend would seem to go back to Xandra Velzebor, who had been leading pretty much all season until Seoul. And in the fourth heat, Danae Blais has a victory this season. Her first international senior victory.
Gold in Beijing, silver in Seoul in the 1,000 meter. This is her event. This is her specialty. She likes to control the race from the front. So watch for Danae Blais early in this race, getting to the lead, controlling the pace. Not too dissimilar from what we saw from Hannah DeSmit earlier. Just gets to the front, has the endurance, has the speed, and making it very difficult for skaters to pass behind her.
Gabriela Topolska, the Hussars, Michelle Velzebor getting that warm ovation. Nakashima Mide of the Japanese Ninjas, and Zhang Yan of the Chinese Lungs.
Go to the start. Ready.
And it is Blay to the front, but just in front of Michelle Velzeboer, who also likes to take the lead, but also maybe more of a 500-meter specialist.
Well, when you're going into a race, you're looking at your competitors, you're assessing what their typical race strategies are. If you're going up against Danae Blay, you know she wants to go to the lead. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, if she gets to the lead, do I bother passing her? Because if I give out the effort, the exertion to pass, I know she's going to try to pass me right back. So maybe I'm better off just trying to save my energy, wait for later in the race to make a move. Michelle Velzeboer just sitting in right now in second.
A little bit of a gap to Nakashima, but as we know, that can be an opportunity to gain speed as Michelle Velzeboer hits the front. Inside 4 laps to go. Nakashima making a little look at second, not going to go for it just yet, but Danae Blay goes for the lead. Down goes to Polska. Not sure what happened there at the back of the field. That will be reviewed, but all the action here at the front.
Michelle Velzeboer is looking really strong out front right now. She's looking really relaxed. You can see the other skaters working a little bit behind her. She looks smooth sailing right now with the 1 to go.
At the bell, it is Michelle Velzeboer with a solid gap. Zhang is taking a look at Danae Blay. So is Nakashima Mide, and they both go down. Nakashima and Blay, they both fell over the line, and Zhang benefited. Nakashima, I know, went into that corner. I think they'll decide whether that went in a bit late, but...
Well, as we see, there's 3 yellow markers, lots of video reviews. First thing I wanted to say is Michelle Velzeboer is looking in top shape right now. She's going to be giving her sister a challenge today in this 1,000 meter because she looked so calm and collected at the front of this race.
Zhang Yan actually just recently competed at the World University Games in Turin. So here she is now. But yeah, Michelle Velzeboer, solid from the front, from the great short track family.
So here's the first incident review. Clash of the skates.
I don't know if Topolska knew what was going on there. And this is the move at the end with Nakashima going quite late, and Danae Blay not just enough where she spun out the backside right there, and they can't hold it.
The photo finish team has their work cut out, tracking all these blades as they cross the line.
And so a couple of them have been cleared, but they are looking at that third one. Failure to give way is what's being reviewed. Also, contact from behind in the corner. And it is Nakashima who is being reviewed there.
Danae Blay gets contacted from behind by Nakashima as they're exiting that turn, so there's a possible advancement there. The A final as Danae Blay was sitting in the second position.
Would have been enough to move on.
See the officials review angle here. There's the contact. It doesn't take too much if your hips get pushed out. You kind of go back on your heels, and that centrifugal force just rotates you out of the turn. And when your legs are fatigued at the end of the race, it's hard to hold it.
Taking a little bit. Here is the incident. That's the bump, and she just can't hold it around the corner, but she was sitting in second place. So if there is a penalty, you would think there could be an advancement. Squeezing through that corner, 3 skaters.
Result of our final quarterfinal in the women's 1,000 meter.
Good result for Zhang. If it is confirmed. There we go. Looks like rulings have been decided. And we will all find out momentarily. Once see the next skaters out on the ice, you know what's going on. And that will be the men's 1,500 meter B final.
We're close to the official verdict. Beata Padran is on her way to the infield.
And here we go.
To the announcement of our 4th quarterfinal.
After review, we give penalty to skater number 3-9 from Japan and advancement to skater number 1-0 from Canada.
And so Nakashima
That's it.
penalized. Dane Blay advanced. That means just one third-place time moving on, and that belongs to Ariana Fontana into the women's 1,000-meter semifinals. And we'll get another look at it. We've seen it a few times. We know what it is. But yeah, contact from behind in the straight. And it's just the slightest of bumps, and Blay sort of thrown off kilter.
In the straight, contact from behind.
Not certain it was in the straight, but it was definitely contact from behind there.
Love the celebration from Zhang, though.
You got to be, this is a quote from Michael Gilday told me. This is not his quote, but you got to be good to be lucky, and you got to be lucky to be good. And sometimes it goes your way. And for Zhang, and win her way today there.
And now it is the B final, the small final, so to speak. We'll save the show on the introductions for the A final. Always curious to see how they'll do that. But we'll throw it down for the introductions on the ice to the B final.
Second starting position is for helmet number 37, Australian Racing Rule, Brandon Corey. Third starting position for helmet number 167, French Rooster, Etienne Bastier. Helmet number 122 on starting position number 4, Hungarian Falcon, Moon Munjun. Fifth starting position is for helmet number 40, Italian gladiator, Thomas Nadarini. And the sixth starting position is for helmet number 27, it's British Royal, Niall Tracy.
Seven skaters. A real mix of programs, too.
We're missing Stephen Dubois
We
here.
are actually missing Stephen Dubois. 6 skaters.
Go to the start. Right.
Real mix of programs. You see the likes of some that aren't really established powers, and they can use points gained in the Crystal Globe standings to go back home and rally support to the program and say, look, we have this place, we are in this standing, we can certainly use some more support.
Still a lot of points on the table, as you mentioned, Gavin. Still top 10 ranking positions. You can finish 8th, 9th, or 10th here. So those are still great results for a lot of these skaters.
Now Tracy is going slowly enough that he can shake out the legs a little bit.
Yeah, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Typically when it's slow, skaters don't want to get low. They're trying to save those legs, keep that energy for later in this race. Something else we talked about, we see Moon, he's rocking the visor now, the face shield, like the Velzebor sisters. And as I said before, it's kind of growing on me. I like that safety. We see blades come up from time to time, and they have caught skaters in the face. Happened to myself once, got a couple stitches across the chin. That face shield will certainly help protect from that.
So in the pub trivia, he will be the first man, I believe, to wear it on the World Tour if it ever comes up. And at the front, Zhang Bohao still leading the way, still waiting for the other shoe to drop. The pace ramping up, not quite flying just yet.
Zhang's just progressing that speed little by little. That's when if you're sitting in the back, you're starting to think, okay, I want to make my move before it's too late and it's too quick. Natalini looks like he might be looking to make a move, and Niall Tracy as well. Let's watch this. Here's Natalini then, building it up outside. Good long exit.
Natalini to third, continuing it on to second, to the lead, not quite. Zhang still there, holding him off.
Well, Zhang responded really well to that outside pass by Natalini. Moon looking up the inside on Corey.
And finally, Natalini makes it stick. And here comes Niall Tracy all the way from the back. Thomas Natalini leading the way ahead of Zhang Bohao. That is Tracy going down. Inside, 2 to go. Thomas Natalini gonna take the bell with the lead.
On a great speed track here.
Brendan Corey trying to get up into second. Etienne Bastier, a good result for the French Rooster, but it's Thomas Natalini taking it. Brendan Corey second, and Bastier might have hung on for a top 10. The 20-year-old from France. Either way, Zhang, also one of the young skaters. I think I saw he was 18.
Lots of excitement in that finish. Niall Tracy there was looking to make his move on the outside. He had so much pressure. His toe kind of caught in the ice. Ice gave way on him. We've seen a few falls in this corner over the course of this weekend. It seems something about this corner, I don't know why it would be different from the other. Maybe the ice plant isn't functioning quite as well there. I'm not sure what it is, but we've seen a lot of falls in this corner.
Does seem to be on one side in particular when we've had these events, and there is Tracy. Just dug the toe in there.
Yeah. Well, you're just carrying so much speed. He's trying to build out the exit. Just catches that right toe.
So results confirmed. Zhang Bohao, 232.068, just ahead of Etienne Bastier. So 18-year-old Zhang Bohao picking up a top 10 on his World Tour debut in the 1500. And for the young Frenchman, Bastier picking up an 11th, certainly something to feel proud of. But that's just the warm-up act. The Crystal Globe Trophy is out on the ice.
Okay, Tilburg.
And now it's time.
Zijn jullie klaar voor de eerste
Let's see how it goes. Are they going to dim the lights to let us know the show's about to start? Results for the B final.
I hold my breath every time they bring that Crystal Globe out on the ice. It looks so precarious sitting on that stand right there. We'll get a look at it in a moment, but maybe they have a dummy one that's just plastic.
I've heard, because they had it in Montreal, and I've heard it's quite heavy, but we'll see if Donjanu continues his act of looking admiringly at that trophy as we see the grid to how the racers got through here from their respective races.
Well, if you want to talk about Crystal Globe points right now, Donjanu.
No, we don't.
Nope, we don't.
Time for introductions.
The lights have gone down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg Men's 1500 meter A final. In first starting position, it's helmet number 3. It's the Crystal Globe leader in 1000 meter world
There's the look.
Canadian Eyes Maple.
Not yet.
Second starting position is for helmet number 12, Italian gladiator, Luca Speckenhauser. Third starting position is for helmet number 46. It's a Japanese ninja, Miyata Shogo. Fourth starting position is for helmet number 44. Also a Japanese ninja, Hayashi Kosei. And the fifth starting position, Tilburg. Daar staat hij. It's helmet number 13. It's Dutch Lion. Het is onze eigen Jens Vergaal.
showtime in Tilburg. And the thought bubble with Donjanu there. I just think one word, soon, looking at that trophy. He has a big lead and a chance to, there you go, there's a look once again. Not quite, but maybe in just over a week's time.
From that angle, it looks like it was pretty close. Close, but he's not touching it yet.
So a pair of Japanese ninjas, a pair of Dutch lions, a pair of Italian gladiators, and a lone ice maple.
Go to the start. Red.
In a race like this, the slow start just adds to that tension, the drama building up. And so we'll see how they play out, the two gladiators together. Siegel deciding he wants to start in the front. Watch out for Jens van het Wout, deciding he wants to slot in behind Donjanu right now. He was on the podium in this event in Seoul right before the holiday break.
Donjanu doing what we saw in the semifinal, always keeping himself towards the front. Positions 1 or 2, he's looking to be there. Shogo on the outside.
Music and the fans just adding to the atmosphere here.
You can feel the tension building in this race. It's going to be an exciting finish. It's been a bit of a slower pace to start, and now we're moving. Donjanu all the way around to the front.
Just getting wound up that little bit more. Seems he and Siegel have the same idea in mind.
Donjanu just showing his awareness, always checking over his shoulders, looking inside, looking outside, seeing.
Now Sven Roos going all the way to the lead. They say the Dutch line, perhaps not the one we expected, but let's see if he has interesting plans. He took the look through the legs to see what was behind him. And another time, and it's that man, it's William Donjanu, who just eases back to the front.
He's just so good at reading track patterns of skaters. He could see Sven Roos just looking like he's going to go a little bit wider and just jumping up that quick, easy inside pass. You want to make your passes as effortless as possible. Donjanu doing just like that to control this race from the front, and now starting to build that speed up.
We await the move from Jens van het Wout. It's Pietro Siegel in second, Lucas Speckenhauser in fourth, Hayashi Kosei trying to get back into the mix for the Japanese ninjas. 2 to go.
Donjanu on a great speed track there. See him carrying it wide. He's going to close that down. Jens van het Wout moving into second.
Van het Wout has the opening on the inside at the bell. It is still Donjanu leading. Here comes Jens van het Wout up the inside. He's not going to be able to hold it. It is Donjanu again in Tilburg.
4 for 5 in the 1500. Donjanu unstoppable in this event right now. Fantastic skate again.
He had enough time for his trademark celebration, taking off to another victory. Van het Wout made it close, and the home fans nearly carried him over the line.
What a race again.
A man who really is without peer at the moment. William Donjanu, he had 4 wins in total on World Cup last season.
Let's watch this replay here. Jens van het Wout's going to go for that inside move, but Donjanu just senses it. Is able to shift his track over. Right here. Still holding that lead. His shoulders are well ahead.
He has his 4th in this distance alone this season.
What Dubois does a great job of, even though he's under pressure, he knows to keep his speed going. He needs to have that strong, long, wide exit, carry that speed.
The photo has Donjanu mid-flap. And he flies away for another win. And what's always great about the Dutch supporters, you see it in long track, you see here, they cheer for everybody. And they give William Donjanu another warm ovation. Just getting started. in Tilburg. Results: Donjanu, Jens van 't Wout, Pietro Siegel third, Lucas Beckenhauser fourth, Miyata Shogo Hayashi Kosei fifth and sixth, and Sven Roos in seventh. In just a minute, we will throw things down for the medal presentations. They'll take some photos, just getting lined up.
Well, Gavin, I'm doing some mental math here, and with that 100 points tally adding to Danjanu's points lead of 912 already, putting him to 1,012, I think it's almost mathematically impossible for him to be caught in the Crystal Globe standings. He might have just secured the victory right there.
I will let you take the credit and glory if you're right, but I will have no problem throwing you under the bus if you're wrong.
Well, Jens van 't Wout will move into second with 660 points. If he were to win the remaining 5 events, he would move to 1,160, but then he'd have to throw out 3 events of all those 18. So you'd have to go back and calculate those few, but it's certainly not done. It's a strong lead for William Danjanu right now.
Down to the ice for the medal presentations, and I'll fill you in on what the gifts they're getting are after they get them.
Wait, did they tell you?
No, I just recognized them because I've been walking around town.
1,500 meter at the ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg 2025 Odino Cup. The medals will be presented by our chief referee, Beata Padar. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, Italian gladiator Pietro Siegel. Pietro Siegel. In second place and winner of the silver medal, Dutch Lion Olzeveel Jens van 't Wout. Jens van 't Wout. And in first place, winner of the gold medal, it's Canadian Ice Maple, William Donjanu. William Donjanu. And one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for Pietro Siegel, Jens van 't Wout, and William Donjanu.
So the orange and green scarves have been sold around town in Tilburg over the course of the week. At the end of the month, the city celebrates its carnival with all kinds of music and events, and it looks like it's going to be a whale of a party anyway. I just wish we were here. But so the skaters, I guess, are getting into the spirit of things. And for William Donjanu, well, he has to wear a scarf. I'm still not sure if his luggage has arrived yet. As of Friday, it still hadn't. So he gets a new article of clothing anyway.
I'm sure he's done a little bit of shopping to make sure his bag, he's got a new bag.
Did he have time to do it anyway?
Well, he's so fast, he's got time.
It's true. He wins practice and then goes to get new clothes. And there are the standings, the overall Crystal Globe standings. 1,012 points right now for William Donjanu. I'll let you...
Well, like where I'm going with this is that
if it's not over, it's very close.
Yes, if it's not over, it's very close. He's already got more races where he's guaranteed points going through in the 1,000 and the 500 meter, but you have 18 races over the course of the World Tour. You throw out your worst 3, right? So if you're looking 100 points maximum per event, even if Jens van 't Wout were to win the next 5 events, he'd have to throw out some points. So, and still, I don't think he can catch Donjanu, or he can close the gap, of course, but it's, I don't know if it'll be enough.
And so we are heading into our first resurfacing break. A look back at William Donjanu claiming yet another victory in the men's 1,500 meters. So we will be back in, it's approximately 15 minutes, but as always with the World Tour, we have some special content that we show during the ice break. So keep an eye out for both Tyler and me during the break. We're out and about chatting about this weekend and about short track in general. So back with you shortly. Welcome to Tilburg in the Netherlands, round 5 of the ISU Short Track World Tour. Tyler Dara, Gavin Day back with you as we finish off the inaugural season of the World Tour. It's been a few months since we saw you, so let's take a look back at Seoul, the last round before the break.
The race for the Crystal Globe is heating up as we pass the halfway point of the Short Track World Tour season. It is Donjanu with the Bellat now leading out from the front. Number 1 in Montreal, he was second last week, and William Donjanu does it in fine style.
This 15 was going to be almost like 1,000, where you want to take the front as fast as possible. I just did a good move at the right time, so yeah, I'm just very fortunate that I got that victory.
Kim Gilly comes in, she takes the lead. Kim Gilly will win on home ice.
3차 때 금메달을 못 따서 아쉬웠는데 한국 와서 첫 종목 금메달을 딸 수 있게 되어 정말 기쁘고 영광스럽습니다.
Stephen Dubois at the moment, he has been on the podium all 3 times in this event, and this time he's going to take gold.
It feels super good. I think we've been dominating on the 500 so far this year. I think it goes to show that we're doing super well so far. And yeah, I like the 500 way more than the 15.
And the Canadian Ice Maples, 3 in a row in the women's 3,000 metres. The dominant team producing a dominant performance.
Crossing the line first is means so much more because I feel like we worked hard and it's finally paying off.
Chinese are trying to make a move through Liu. It is Korea and China, and the Koreans take it on home ice.
모르겠어요. 그냥 열심히 달렸고 앞에 사람이 있으면 추월을 했고 마지막에도 끝까지 우리 팀원들이 만들어준 경기를 하다 보니까 1등을 할 수 있었던 것 같아요. 너무 기분이 좋네요.
Can the USA Eagle hold on to get top of the podium for the first time this season?
It means a lot. It's been kind of a rough season for me so far. I'm really happy I could pull it all together today.
Donjanu flies once more, the Ice Maple Supreme. The USA Eagle is going to go back to Griswold.
Pushed each other off their skate.
Oh, Koreans have gone down. It's gold for China once more in the men's relay.
I think the whole team was fighting so hard, and it was a well-deserved gold, and we were really stable.
Now, Tyler, just a few stops remain on the World Tour this weekend in Tilburg, next weekend in Milan. Now, looking back on the men's side of things in the Crystal Globe, the big question going into the Asian swing was, can William Dongenew replicate the kind of results that he had in Montreal? He did that. He added to his lead in that last few stops on the World Tour.
Yeah, William Dongenew has just been skating fantastically this season, and he's adding those victories. He's got 6 victories this season, 8 individual podiums, so he's taking a lead in that Crystal Globe standings and really running away with it. So now this weekend, with the absence of Park Ji-won, we'll see if some other skaters can step up and try to close that gap. Stephen Dubois has 2 victories in the Crystal Globe this year, so we'll wait and see what happens this weekend.
Now in the team standings, same kind of thing. The Canadian Ice Maples continue to put up results in both Beijing and in Seoul.
Yes, the Canadian Ice Maples across the board have been phenomenal this year, with William Dongenew leading the way. The women's team is doing great. Danae Blais getting a win. We've seen some other skaters, Florence Brunel on the podium, and of course Stephen Dubois. And then the relay teams as well have just been dominant this season. So the Canadian Ice Maples are really running away with that Crystal Globe for the team standing.
Now on the women's side of things, it had been Sandra Velzeboer, the Dutch Lions, leading for so long. But in Seoul, Kristen Santos Griswold of the USA Eagles picked up a couple victories, now has the lead in the Crystal Globe standings, but it's a razor-thin margin.
Well, as you said, Gavin, Sandra Velzeboer came out flying this season. Kristen Santos Griswold responded at the Asian World Tour stops. She's now taken the lead of the Crystal Globe standings on the women's side, but only about 10 points ahead of Sandra Velzeboer, who's looking to take that title back after this weekend in Tilburg before we look to Milan. But this weekend, we have the absence of Kim Gilly and Choi Min-jong, who are sitting 3rd and 4th, respectively, in the Crystal Globe standings. But Corinne Stoddard and Hannah DeSmit are going to be looking to move up the rankings with their absence.
2 weekends to go. Could be down to the wire. Lots more to come.
The best thing about short track. The best thing for me about short track.
The best thing about short track, I'll say...
How to phrase it?
The speed.
The speed for sure.
We are going fast. Just the speed.
The best thing about short track, the excitement of the racing, the unpredictability.
Action. The passing, the hitting, the speed, the falls, everything. It's amazing.
I think betting on the sport will never be possible because it's so you never know who's going to pour there.
I think it's the feeling of speed, and when you put the arm on the ice, it's like you don't have this feeling in any other sport. It's like yeah.
I love the feeling of the ice. I love to put my blades on the ice, and I really love to feel this glide, this feeling on the ice.
It doesn't get boring at all. You know, the whole race is just keep going and non-stop.
You never know who's going to win, and I think this is one of the prettiest things in this sport, because you might feel good, you might feel strong, but that doesn't mean you're a winner.
There's so many things going on that you have to react fast and you have to be aware all the time.
I'll say the strategy and the crash.
1000m? 1000m가 제일 좋고 제일 다양한 레이스, 제일 빠른 레이스, 제일 어려운 레이스가 되기 때문에
Actually, short track is the coolest sport. Overtaking in high speed, and in short track we need a lot of techniques and endurance. We need all the balance.
Just competing with each other, you know, and that's the most fun. That's where the adrenaline comes from.
오른발 탈 때 제일 짜릿하고 제일 좋아하는 구간입니다.
That you're on thin blade, do so big speed, you know, it's like, it's amazing, just amazing.
僕が思う一番好きなのはハイスピードの中で戦略があって、その中で相手を抜く、相手に抜かさせないっていうようなことをしているっていうのがとても迫力があって大好きです。
Hard to choose just one. I think we're the most exciting sport in the world by far.
My name is Nathalie Lambert, and I'm the chair of the Short Track Technical Committee for the ISU. There are two priorities for the referee. One is safety, and the second one is fairness. Those are the two priorities, and they're non-negotiable. Short track is a contact sport. It's a small, minor contact sport, and there is a degree that is tolerated. But when it leads to falls or to the right of priority, then it can lead to a penalty. If you're a fan of Formula One, for example, you know that there are some things that the drivers can do and cannot do. It's the same in skating. So the skaters must behave in a way that will not impact the race of other skaters. In short track speed skating, the skater who will make a pass, the skater who will overtake, is responsible for the pass, unless the skater being overtaken behaves in an inappropriate way. So there's multiple things that can happen in short track. One of the most common one is what we are calling lane change, which means instead of just focusing for the first block, for the corner, a skater will do a lateral move, either from inside to out or outside to in, and if that skater is responsible for creating a contact, it can lead to a penalty, especially if the contact is impactful and it has consequences on the race.
After review, we give a penalty for number 13 from Poland.
So skaters should skate in a straight line and try to go for the corner close to the block without doing some lateral move. And then when we get really close to the corner, for the referee we're saying 3 meters before the corner, then there is a principle of priority. So the skater in the lead has priority. The principle of priority for us is at the end of the straight, the skater who would be in the lead has priority to the corner. What we mean by in the lead, it means, the shoulders, the hips, and the blades are in front of the other skater, which means the other one, he either need to abort the mission and step back, or is at a very high risk. If there is a contact, that skater will get a penalty. If they are level, they both have the right to the corner. So think of it as it's a 2-lane on the road with a white line in between. Versus if they're not level, it's a merge and the lead skater has priority. So that's kind of the easiest way to describe this. And if the inside skater doesn't give way, then that can lead to a penalty.
Even kijken, dus de lichtjes doen het, de armen die zwaaien. Wat hebben we dan nog niet gehad? Oh ja! Haal die baan op, zou ik zeggen. En samen zingen. Ik hoor nog niet. Wat zeg je? En dan? Wauw, wat is dit vet, wat is het mooi. Jullie zijn echt in topconditie, Tilburg. Dankjewel naar Tilburg, natuurlijk heel de wereld. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in absolute power, superpower condition. Dat wil zeggen dat wij ook weer helemaal klaar zijn om terug te gaan naar de lampen die gaan langzaam weer aan. En dat betekent dat wij het showlicht langzaam uit gaan doen en dat de show vanaf de lampen en het geluid weer richting het schaatsen gaan. Dat betekent ook dat wij naar onze showmasters van de wedstrijdsport gaan. Justin van Zutphen en natuurlijk Jan van de mooi. Hij heet eigenlijk Van de Molen, maar alleen voor dit weekend heeft hij zichzelf omgedoopt door Jan van de Meulen. Ja, mooi!
Met oogomlaag. Heel goed. Wij gaan ons inderdaad concentreren. Het wedstrijdlicht is aan. The racing light is on again. And we have the women's 1000 meters semi-finals coming up. Nou, als je nog niet wist wat je nou allemaal ging doen hier, als je er voor het eerst bij bent bij Short Track, achter elkaar door allemaal. Rijders veel in actie. vaak in actie, veel keren in actie. Vandaag doen we 4 A-finales. Daar gaan we de medailles, daar gaan we de punten. Dan gaan we de Crystal Globe. De eerste 5, 1000 meter, de eerste A-finale.
The racing lights come back on. And it's time for women's 1,000-meter semifinals. 2 heats, 5 skaters, top 2 from each race, and maximum up to 1/3 fastest will go to the A final. And already there will be a bit of a shake-up atop the leaderboard in the Crystal Globe standings, with Kristen Santos Griswold holding a minuscule lead coming in and going out in the quarterfinals. Just the fact that Sandra Velzebor is in the semifinal, I think that means she would get enough points from this race alone to jump back ahead.
Yeah,
and of course, if she goes on to win the 1,000, that's 100 points, and it gives her a bit more of a margin.
We just had a piece of confetti fall into the ice on the head of the short track logo in the center of the ice. Sorry, just caught my eye, fall from the ceiling.
Oh, weird. There's been no confetti here at all this week.
Yeah, that must have been from a party last week. Hopefully, maybe one of the officials catches that. Yep, there it is right now, picking it up. All right, all's clear on the track.
And so almost another new job for Corin Stoddart, as if there wasn't enough motivation to get to a final for her own Crystal Globe aspirations. It's essentially take some points off the table from Sandra Velzebor, beat her to help your own teammate in the Crystal Globe standings.
Absolutely, help your teammate, help your team in the overall team standings of the Crystal Globe as well.
So I'm sure she's already motivated enough. It's just we needed another talking point. Otherwise,
well, we've seen her determination. She wants to win.
So there's Hannah Desmet, Corin Stoddart, Zhang Yan, and then a pair of Ice Maples, Courtney Sereau and Danae Blais.
Go to the start. Ready.
Zhang jumped up to second. That collision at the last second in her quarterfinal. That allowed that same collision Danae Blais to get advanced, and Stoddart on the front.
Well, looking at this race lineup, we have a lot of skaters that like to be up front. This is a strong, strong semifinal. I expect a quick pace right away.
It's another one of those semifinals that could be easily an A final on another day. And it's Sereau, who has been looking back near her very best so far this weekend, but she would love to cap it off with some hardware.
We'll see Sereau and Stoddart swapping leads here. Danae Blais looking up the inside of Courtney Sereau.
Desmet, who was leading most of the race in her last round, now having to chase, but she is never afraid to make a move. And Blais makes the move on Stoddart. Now Sereau trying to do the same thing, and the Ice Maples go 1-2.
Well, Danae Blais loves to be in the front of the race. Hannah Desmet on the outside, carrying some really good speed. Stoddart up the inside. Lots of moves happening right now. Desmet makes her way all the way to the front. Great outside pass. She's continuing that speed. She's building a gap here.
Hannah Desmet sat out the European Championships, looking like it's the wise decision, because she is now pouring away. The race is for second. Blais trying to hang on. Stoddart jumps up to take second. Desmet and Stoddart looking like they will head into the A final.
That's an exclamation mark by Hannah Desmet there, sending a message to her competitors. I'm in top form right now. Pulling away like that, making it look so easy. That's the strongest she's looked all season long on the World Tour.
And just the 1,000 is the one distance she does not have a World Tour medal this season. Just 500s and her preferred 1,500. And what a shakeup that could be.
Absolutely.
To the Crystal Globe standings.
Looked a little bit like Danae Blais. Didn't quite have the legs today that she had on the Asian swing of the World Tour, but you have to understand too, there's still lots of racing to come. We have the World Championships leading up soon.
And there is one more race. She did get up for third, a 1:30.141, so she'll be watching intently to see if she can get into the A final.
And just to finish that thought, where I was going was that some athletes they're training through some events. They're looking to peak at different times, so some may have a little more workload from training coming into these World Tour events, and it's kind of all part of the strategy with their coaches when they're trying to sequence to be in top form.
There are the results confirmed. Desmet, Stoddart through. Blais waits. Zhang and Soro heading into the B final. Second heat, expect several loud ovations. Sister against sister. Michelle and Sandra, the Velzeboers, will be in positions 2 and 3. There's also Ariana Fontana, Petra Yashapati, and Kim Boutin. Another one of those races, an absolute toss-up.
Got to think the Velzeboer parents are sitting in the stands holding their breath right now.
Them getting introduced. And this race has the current European 500, 1,000, and 1,500 meter champions in it.
Ready.
And then never mind the current 500 meter world champion in Kim Boutin. So lots to look for.
And Yashapati coming off a great European Championships. She's been skating very strong. So this, again, a stacked race in these semifinals, as it always is. Sandra Velzeboer taking that early lead in this race. Watch to see if her sister tries to join her up near the front, but Kim Boutin looking, oh, shoulder to shoulder. Three skaters.
Boy. It is Michelle Velzeboer and Fontana. Boutin also, I believed, was in the mix with that.
Boutin was making an inside pass there, and there was some contact, so we'll go back to review to get a better look at that. But now we're down to 3 skaters. This really changed the dynamic of the race. You see Velzeboer not pushing the pace now. You just got to be top 2 of these 3.
And it is Sandra Velzeboer, who not much before that collision moved to the front, and that helped her avoid the danger. Yashapati also right up there. Boutin, of course, we know can turn on the jets if she needs to. And it is Sandra Velzeboer, Petra Yashapati flying high for the Falcons indeed.
Kim Boutin is coming off the back now.
And it is down to 2. I think both of them stayed out of that danger. And so Yashapati second, Sandra Velzeboer will receive the plaudits crossing the line first.
Well, we're going to go back and get a review of that incident that took out Fontana as well as Michelle Velzeboer.
And what is being looked at, it is Kim Boutin. Potential lane change inside to out. That is what the review is looking at as they count down the remaining laps for the skaters involved in the collision, and this might be our look at it right here.
Here's Kim Boutin coming up the inside, contacting Michelle Velzeboer, which kind of dominoes into Ariana Fontana, who was sitting in second at the time that incident occurred.
And so that could potentially see advancements.
Ja, we kijken natuurlijk even op de grote schermen hier in het midden van het stadion.
Just nowhere to go there, so tight together.
We zien ook weer een geel stipje. Stel de vraag, hoe komt die van tot stand? En
these skaters are wearing full cut-resistant suits underneath their racing skin suits. For a time, the 2 suits were built together, but now they actually just swapped them out there. So they're wearing 2 skin suits underneath. They have the full cut-resistant suit and then the racing suit over top. And that's what's protecting them from any blades coming in contact with them.
The review now underway. The officials on the ice in touch with the officials in the room. And this, of course, is what we're looking at. Boutin up the inside. And they say possible lane change inside to out. But as Tyler said, the domino effect. Michelle Velzeboer goes into Fontana. Three skaters just squeezed into that corner.
En dat allemaal onder de meest zware fysieke en mentale omstandigheden. Dat maakt shorttrack zo mooi. Dat maakt shorttrack zo zwaar. Dat maakt shorttrack zo onvoorspelbaar.
So it is a quick turnaround. So hey, it's a few extra minutes of rest.
And assuming Sandra Velzeboer was clear in that race, which we believe she was, that's going to take her to the A final, extending that points lead over Kristen Santos Griswold. There's a debrief there with Michelle Velzeboer and her coach, Nils Kersholt.
In de heatbox, zoals dat heet, de plek waar de rijders vandaan komen.
So they're still looking at it. They haven't gone to the screen where they put in the results. There's the heat box. Where they get ready. And then the normal close back on after the race. And they have brought out the men's 500-meter quarterfinal heat number 1. So that must mean it is imminent decision. And yes, they are at the screen where they tap in the results. So men's 500 meters coming at you shortly. And Jens van het Wout already back out on the ice.
So we're definitely going to get a penalty here. And advancement is just who and where.
Let's see what is being looked at. Possible Kim Boutin, possible Michelle Velzeboer in the lane outside to in. So they're looking at both.
After review, we give no penalty due to shared responsibility between skater number 1-2 from Netherlands and 3-2 from Canada, and give one advancement to final A to number 105 from Italy.
There you have it. So shared responsibility between Boutin and Michelle Velzeboer. And then the innocent victim in all this, Ariana Fontana, gets advanced to the A final.
Well, I'm eating my words there because I thought we were going to see a penalty, but that was the shared responsibility call that changed that.
The one thing that I thought coming in is, you have taught me, watch the red line where Boutin dips in, and she's out in plenty of time before the corner.
Yeah.
And so she was going out, Velzeboer was going in, I suppose is the ruling.
You see Michelle Velzeboer kind of move over to squeeze her a little bit too. So Kim Boutin going in, coming out, Michelle Velzeboer moving in to stop her, and that's that shared responsibility that led to the fall and the advancement of Ariana Fontana.
So Fontana really had no say in what happened. She was just there and in a position to advance, and so she will move into the A final.
That would remove the time advancement.
Correct. Well spotted. So here we go. Men's 500 meters, heat 1. There are 4. This one has Jens van het Wout, Thomas Natalini, Martin Kolenc, Sean McAnuff, the good story of the day yesterday, right into the quarterfinals, and Yoshinaga Kazuki.
Right.
The top 2 move on into the semifinals, and then up to 2 fastest third-place skaters. And it is Jens van het Wout who now knows got to get as many points as he can and hope that William Dongenew stumbles along the way in the quest for the Crystal Globe.
Jens van het Wout's looking incredibly comfortable here. Natalini tracking him down, but the speed of Jens van het Wout is a lot right now, so it would be difficult to pass.
Van het Wout leading, trying to go wire to wire. Natalini making it close. The race is really on for third, but it's Van het Wout taking the win. Natalini second, and I think Kolenc got up for third with a 41.40. And look at that, 40.5 under 41 seconds.
That's a quick time. 40.5 marker. I suspect, the fastest times we're going to see are between that low 40 to the 40.5 range, like this is right here. Natalini at the end of this race, you can see he's kind of looking wide, looking for opportunities, but Jens van het Wout just flawless there.
Job done for him. I just want to draw attention to Sean McAnuff, who qualified directly for the quarterfinals. First time I think we'd gotten a look at the Irish Wolfhounds kit on the World Tour session, these afternoon sessions. So just a happy moment there. It's Van het Wout Natalini sharing a word after the race.
And a smile. Great to see that.
I know the Dutch was one of those teams that went up to Bormio in the off-season to train, and so they know each other pretty well on and off the ice. Van het Wout, Natalini, Kolenc. So keep an eye on the 41.388 if all heats go incident-free. 2 fastest third-place skaters moving on. Second heat, Steven Dubois is back in the mix here, as is teammate Jordan Pierre-Gilles, and then there is a pair of Dutch Lions, Tilburg, Itzhak de Laat, and then Li Kun of the Chinese Lunds.
En we hebben onze eigen oranje leeuwen met z'n tweeën. Tilburg, Itzhak de Laat.
Well, let's watch for Jordan Pierre-Gilles in lane 3. He's going to want to try to make a move right off the line. He's got the fast enough start to do so if he can get around Tilburg and tuck in behind Stephen Dubois.
Go to the start. All right.
Li Kun out in position 5. Really nothing to lose. 20 years old.
Jordan Pierre-Gilles using that start.
And there it is. Dubois and Pierre-Gilles 1 and 2. And they are both conspiring to open up a gap. Tilburg, Itzhak de Laat not making much headway. It's almost like a Canadian time trial right now.
8-1 lap from Stephen Dubois. That is a quick pace. His speed track is just unbelievable. Jordan Pierre-Gilles just hanging on there.
At the bell, it is the Canadian Ice Maples potentially sending 2 into the semifinals.
40.2. That might get adjusted with the official to a 40.19 or so, or a little bit quicker. We'll wait and see. But again, that's that low 40-second time that we expect to be kind of, that's the top speed here. Stephen Dubois known for having those fast 500 meters.
And a hundredth of a second back to Jordan Pierre-Gilles.
Please look at that start. Critical start from Jordan Pierre-Gilles from lane 3 to get in that second position. When you're Tilburg there and you're second and you have that skater coming over the top of you into the corner, it's really hard to accelerate out of the turn. And that's what allows that gap to open up right away.
The two skaters ranked 1 and 3 in the world. Make it look quite easy in the end. The current World Tour classification in the 500, Stephen Dubois, William Dongenou, Jordan Pierre-Gilles.
We talk about the depth of the Canadian Ice Maples on the men's side, and then you have the likes of Felix Roussel, who could very well be competing here, but there's no more room for him on the 500-meter team when you got the top 3 guys already.
Heat number 3, Pietro Segal back out on the ice. Quentin Vercoq, French rooster. Michał Niewinski, Peter Yashapati celebrated a birthday yesterday. And Furkan Akar, who had the fastest time in the repechage quarterfinal today, going under 41 seconds. So maybe one to watch at a position 5.
Furkan Akar's got the speed, he's got a quick start, but position number 5 is a difficult place to start from. It's a long way around for sure. We'll see if he can get shoulder ahead of a few skaters and really build this first turn.
Go to the start. All right.
See who can make it through the corner. It's Segal and Vercoq. Really, you see the advantage of being in position 1 and 2, but Michał Niewinski gets into second. Vercoq trying to fight back. Neither of them giving anything. But that allows Segal to disappear a bit into the distance. Here comes a car, though. It is Segal, Niewinski, and Furkan Akar, maybe with too much to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap to overcome and try to make a pass with only 1 lap to go. Niewinski's just protecting that second position, but they're slowing down because he's not going for it. Let's see if Furkan Akar can make a run for the line. Not enough.
It is Segal, Niewinski, and Akar, 1, 2, 3. And Akar's time of 41.07. That is faster than Kolench anyway, but slower than Tilburg's 40.654. It might just be that second heat was the fastest one we see. But at the moment, Akar has the second of 2 fastest third place.
So we see that inside pass by Niewinski here. Vercoq's going to look to go right back, but Niewinski is such a strong skater. He's built like a brick. He's a hard guy to push around. So we'll see if we get a look at Vercoq trying to go back here, but you're not going to get a lot of movement on Niewinski. He's not going to budge.
took a lot of Falcock's speed out of it, and Carl then had the task of getting around it. He'll have to wait one more race to see if that time is quick enough, but nothing got reviewed there.
And just of note, Nowinski has a yellow card already this weekend from a previous round earlier, so he's got to make sure he's being careful, and it was a good defense of his track there.
Confirmation of the results. And heat number 4, Brandon Kim of the USA Eagles, Miyata Shogo, Japanese Ninja, William Donjanu, Stan DeSmet, Niall Tracy, and Zhang Yuchen.
Go to the start. Right.
Donjanu in position 3 coming into the season. If there was one that we'd sort of look at, maybe it's his weakest event, it's the 500, but he's shown that sprint ability. But right now, sitting behind Brandon Kim and Miyata Shogo.
Donjanu has a little bit of work to do here. He's carrying a lot of good speed, but there's not a lot of gaps in the skaters in front of him. But as Shogo goes, that might create an opportunity for Donjanu.
Kim trying to close the door, Donjanu into the opening. And it is Miyata Shogo leading the way. And the way the points are, this could very well clinch the Crystal Globe right here for Donjanu, but we'll let that fall as it may. But Donjanu second, Miyata in first. And the time, 41 even for Brandon Kim. And so we'll see how that plays out with the, it'll be hundredths of a second, because Furkan Akar was 41.06. But one of the rare times we see Donjanu not at the front, having to work for it a little bit more.
Yeah, he got a little bit squeezed off the start going to that first turn, so that allowed for a bit of a gap. But at the same time, he's so quick, it gives an opportunity to really build some speed on the skaters that he's chasing down, and then he can transition that right into a pass.
There it is.
And Brandon Kim in the end, 40.993, and so that knocks out Furkan Akars, and so Brandon Kim of the USA Eagles moving in with one of the fastest third place times, the other going to Toon Boer.
40.654 was genoeg voor Teun Boer door naar de halve finale.
And the home crowd getting that news as well. And so into the semifinals go Miyata, Donjanu, and Kim. They will be out not long after for the women's 1,000 meters. A list of your qualifiers. And the women's 1,000 meter medal race ready to go.
Een klein stukje zo we elke keer een schone baan hebben. Hier is een 7 start finishstrepen. En onze track stewards die de beste van de wereld zijn zorgen ervoor.
The B final, of course, going for every single Crystal Globe point you can get. Will be in the A final, so she's also in the midst of getting ready. There's Blay also in the A final.
Courtney Soro still lazing up the skates there.
Yeah, the B final skaters aren't on the ice yet. Oh yeah, Dane Blay is in the B final, pardon me. But there are 3 Ice Maples in the B final. Dane Blay, Courtney Soro, Kim Boutin. There's also Michelle Velzebor and Zhang Yan.
You can see these athletes getting their skin suits on, how tight those suits are.
Sandra Velzeboer, a chance to retake the lead and pad her lead a little bit in the Crystal Globe standings. There we go, the B final skaters out onto the ice. They'll go out, and then they will let them be introduced down on ice level. Zhang Velzeboer out, and then the three from Canada. Thousand-meter finals coming up. Just been whistled quickly to the line, and so that means the formalities are just about at hand. So we'll let them be announced down at the ice level, and we will be with you on the start line.
World Tour Tilburg, World Tour number 5, the pre-last World Tour for the Crystal Globe. Let's welcome our athletes on first starting position. Helmet number 10, Canadian Ice Maple, Danae Black. Starting position number 2 for helmet number 1, 2, 3. Presenting the Chinese Lungs in Zhang Yan. Third starting position is for helmet number 9. Also a Canadian Ice Maple, it's Courtney Sao. On the fourth starting position, it's helmet number 32. Again, we have a Canadian Ice Maple, it's Kim Bhutan. And the fifth starting position is for helmet number 12. He is also Ranja Lewin, it is Michelle Elvero.
Position 4. Okay. Go to the start. Ready.
And off the line, Velzeboer with the stumble, but it's not going so quickly that she can't catch up. And so the home fans cheering her back up. And if you missed us this morning, the Dutch skaters on their right thigh, they actually have unique messages.
Well, Michelle Velzeboer with that toe in off the start, going down. She recovers and says, you know what? I'm going right to the lead of this race. Talked about it earlier. Michelle Velzeboer's been looking so strong lately. It's a shame that she went down in that semifinal, but maybe she can show her strength in this B final as Courtney Sauro eyes up that second position ahead of Kim Bhutan.
Yeah, the messages on the leg. I was setting you up.
Oh, you were setting up the message on the leg. Yeah, messages written by their parents. You know, sending them to the skaters as a reminder. Unfortunately, we can't read them all from up here, but a very unique feature to the skin suits that I haven't seen before. I don't think that's been done before, so really cool thought from the Dutch Lions team to do that for the athletes.
It is Zhang Yan, and then wanting to hear the roars again, Michelle Velzeboer to the front, and Courtney Sauro, the Canadian Ice Maples, all following suit. Blay is down.
Here comes Courtney Sauro on the inside.
And they will get the bell. Blay, not her day today. She was in with the Zhang Yan there, but it's Sauro leading the way, and she will pull away, and Bhutan will jump up ahead, and it will be Canadians 1 and 2 in the B final.
Nice finish by the Ice Maples there. Unfortunate incident on Danae Blay as she was looking to make her move on the outside, just making some contact with Zhang in the corner that set her off balance as she went down.
We shall see potentially an illegal late pass on one of the Canadian skaters, so we'll get another look here.
There's that toe in from Michelle Velzeboer. Quick recovery. Fortunately, it's early enough and the pace didn't pick up that she was able to close that gap quickly. Well,
this is after the incident, I believe.
Kim Bhutan's outside pass to move to second.
Let's wait for the official confirmation. A double victory in this B final for the Canadian Ice Maples.
just looking at a potential illegal late pass. Of course, since we are in a B final, there's no worries about anyone getting advanced. But
and they're mentioning Canadian, but there's 3 Canadians, so yeah. Trying to do the math. I don't know. I'm sure if that was the incident with Danae Blay that they're referring to.
It was, but it was started earlier on, and I think Blay might have just been the one to take the bump at the end of it. But we'll get a replay of it, I'm sure. They're looking at it right now.
We can catch a corner glimpse of the review that they're playing.
So analyze that. What do you see?
Well, you know, I don't see quite a lot there.
Looks like the decision's been made. And the Crystal Globe trophy already out onto the ice. Wonder what kind of glance Sandra Velzebor will hand to it. It is a big, big trophy. And yeah, that looks like the real McCoy.
Yeah. As they move that table around, you know, I just again, hold my breath, don't knock it over.
After review, we give 1 penalty for skater number 3-2 from Canada.
And it is Boutin. And so her second place in the B final nullified as she's penalized. So Soro takes it, Velzebor second, Zhang Yan in third.
Velzebor is ranked second right now.
And so this is the look.
We had a penalty for Kit Boutin.
Illegal late pass starting right there. That's the bump, and then Danae Blay got further bumped. There you have it. And yeah, just looking at that trophy, never mind if it falls off the pedestal and shatters into 1,000 pieces. How long would the delay be to clean up the whole thing?
Don't even want to think about that.
And once the lights go down, we let the arena hosts take over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the women's 1,000-meter A final. The ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg Oenido Cup. First starting position for helmet number 4, representing the Belgian Ice Bears, Hanne de Smet. Second starting position for helmet number 5, representing the American Eagles, it's Corleen Stoller. On starting position number 3, it's helmet number 3. That is onze Leeuwin Tilburg. Hier is Sandra Velzebor. De nummer 1 van de wereld op de 1000 meter. On 4 starting position, it's helmet number 86, representing the Hungarian Falcons, Yazavati Petra. And on the 5th starting position, it's helmet number 105. Italian Claudia Carice, 11 times Olympic medal winner, Adriana Fontana.
So when she went by, not even a look at the trophy from Sandra Velzebor, just staring right down the camera.
All focus on this race.
So many things to look at here. That woman, the timeless wonder, Ariana Fontana. Hanne de Smet looking absolutely stellar right now. Corin Stoddart, one of the most consistent skaters on the circuit, has been in A finals every single stop this year. Of course, Sandra Velzebor and Petra Yashapati, who is skating very, very well. The European 500-meter champion.
Ready.
And Montana wanting the front, but no real give from De Smet. She begrudgingly offers that up.
Corey Stoddard making her move. We're going to see a lot of jockeying for position as Sandra Velzebor moves up as well. Yasha Patti on the outside, following Stoddard, looking to complete that pass or just tuck into second there.
It's just like this washing machine effect where everyone's going for the lead and it changes several times. Now settling in, Stoddard leading.
Yasha Patti, I like this move, getting up to the lead here. Corey Stoddard, though, responding right away.
Just such a smooth operator. The slightest of smile when she was introduced. Corey Stoddard is the picture of focus out on the ice.
Here comes De Smet. She's going to work on the outside. Tucking into third now.
There's Stoddard. And Velzebor and De Smet as we reach 3.
Stoddard's pushing the pace. Those lap times are falling.
This is a long time on the front for Corey Stoddard.
Let's watch De Smet here. Does she have the legs for it? She's going to look to the outside. She's building it up wide. Nice move by De Smet. And she carried around Stoddard as well.
Stoddard still leading the way. De Smet, though, takes the lead at the bell. It is Hannah De Smet now pouring away. She is going to take the 1,000. What form is she on right now?
Just proving to be on another level, setting gaps every time she steps on the ice and racing with these girls. Unbelievable race by Hannah De Smet there. She was biding her time. She wasn't making a lot of moves too early. She was waiting to strike right at the finish.
Second victory of the season for Hannah De Smet. First medal in the 1,000 meters this season. Second to Corey Stoddard, another medal for the American skater, and she beat Sandra Velzebor, so knocking a few points off the table, helping her teammates' Crystal Globe chances.
Well, closing that gap for sure. Right now, Hannah De Smet's sitting in 6th. She had 607 points. That's going to move her up to 707. The race on the women's side for the Crystal Globe is so tight. We're going to be watching every single race, tracking the points, because it's going to come down to the wire this year. We have the absence of Kim Ki-lee and Choi Min-jong, who are currently sitting 3rd and 4th, but that's going to move them out of the picture because Stoddard is also going to jump up. With her, was that a silver for Stoddard here?
Silver for Stoddard.
So that's going to move her up 80 points, so she'll lead them too. So now Stoddard and Hannah De Smet are right in the battle with Sandra Velzebor and Kristen Santos Griswold.
So, of course, Stoddard helping her teammate, but also she's in the mix for herself in the Crystal Globe standings. And so this one you have, how many? 6 skaters, 5 skaters here and 2 away, and they're all still in the mix for the Crystal Globe.
Well, a completely different story from the men's side where we see Dan Janou just run away with it. This women's competition couldn't be any tighter. It's just going to be exciting to watch because every race is going to matter so much on those points.
They will get their medals and scarves. Just getting the formalities followed. And once they head out, we'll let people in the arena handle the ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the women's 1,000 meter at the ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg 2025 Odido Cup. The medals will be presented by Mr. Cees Juffermans, our tournament director. In 3rd place and winner of the bronze medal, representing the Dutch Lions, hier staat onze leeuwin Alexandra Velzebor.
Oh, yeah.
En met de kruikensjaal erbij, laat het nog maar een keertje horen Tilburg. Voor onze Xandra Velzenboer. In second place and winner of the silver medal, representing the United States of America Eagles, Corinne Stoddard.
Great season so far. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
En er gaat ook een kruikensjaal mee naar Amerika. Voor Corinne Stoddard. And in first place, winner of the gold medal, representing the Belgian Ice Bears, Hanne de Smet. Daar staat Hanne de Smet. En we gaan ze voor jullie bij elkaar zetten, Tilburg. Een absoluut toptrio deze 1000 meter. Nog één keertje voor Hanne de Smet, voor Corinne Stoddard en voor de brons van Xandra Velzenboer.
Good moment for de Smet, who trains, lives in Montreal, but she was born just kind of on the outskirts of Antwerp, which is about 70 kilometers away from here. So I have to wonder, there are some Belgian flags in the crowd, and I wonder just how many might be family or friends. After the Dutch skaters, the de Smet siblings have, I think, gotten the biggest ovations. Just once she decided to hit the front, nobody was keeping up with her.
Another look at that outside pass. Great job getting around before the corner entry, keeping it clean, and then just carries that speed to open that gap. Dominant performance.
Skaters just spend so much time together and so supportive of one another.
Yeah, she formerly trained with the Dutch team for a few years, so her and Zandra are quite close.
Updated standings. Velzenboer on top by 50 points ahead of Santos Griswold. Corinne Stoddard up to third. 18 points adrift from her teammate de Smet, up to fourth with 7:07. And the two Korean White Tigers who are not here, but my, that is getting a little bit congested at the top. Still more to come before we get into the ice resurfacing break. It's the men's 500-meter semifinals. Two heats, 5 skaters in each, first and second from each race, and up to one fastest third place time will go to the A final. Dubois and Pierre-Gilles, they almost worked in tandem in the first heat, just demolishing the field in the quarterfinals. They're back in the same heat together, positions 1 and 2. Thomas Natalini, Mia Tashogo, and Brandon Kim.
Position number 3, take your dot. Go to the start. Ready.
And Miata with a very good start out of position 4, gaining a place, but it is the two Canadians, 1 and 2.
Stephen Dubois is just so quick, so if you can keep in touch with him and keep a tight gap, it's going to be very difficult to pass you at this speed, especially because they are just absolutely flying. I expect to see a low 8-second lap time here. Comes in at 8:08. That is flying.
And this might be the lap that skaters want to be in if they're angling for that third place time. Miata taking a look.
Dubois broke out there in the corner, lost some speed. That had Miata kind of running up on Jordan Pierre-Gilles there.
And both the Canadians do end up going through once again. And Miata hung on for third. He was sort of bumped off balance a little bit.
Just textbook work from Stephen Dubois. We're used to seeing that performance from him. He's got that quick start. He has that top speed. He often has that inside lane advantage, so it works to his favor every single time. So hard to keep up with.
And the two Canadians, of course, spent so much time together. They know how each other skate, and they can almost read the situation. A measure of comfort when you're in that sort of situation.
Absolutely. They would be doing so many laps together. They know each other's track patterns so well. Jordan Pierre-Gilles would be very comfortable following in behind Stephen Dubois.
That was the stumble there from Miata.
See if we get that look of Stephen Dubois here. Just gets a little held up on that. Oh, this is the finishing lap. Little pat on the backside. Good job, buddy.
And they could be seeing the top 3 in the individual discipline standings joining them in the final. Opportunity to have Dubois, Pierre-Gilles, and Danjanu.
Well, again, Danjanu's got some work to do. He didn't win his semifinal, didn't have the quickest time, so that sees him in position number 3 with Jens van het Wout on that inside lane. That's going to work to his advantage for sure.
Toon Boer in position 2. Then, as Tyler mentioned, Danjanu in 3, Pietro Segal in 4, Michał Niewinski in 5. On another day, this is one of those races that could be an A final.
Right.
Danjanu almost getting into second, but he's squeezed out by Boer, and he's sitting in third. It's van het Wout out of position 1.
Oh, Danjanu right away. He can just accelerate out of that corner, even when it looks like he doesn't have time to do it.
Boer taking a look, not making the move. Segal and Niewinski a little bit slow out of the gate, but we know Segal never gives up. There's the move into third around Toon Boer, but it is Jens van het Wout off and away right now with 1 to go. Danjanu in the position to move into the A final, but Jens van het Wout will hope to get revenge on the Canadian. He will be in the A final. You almost ate my words there. You almost looked like he slid out of the corner.
You know, that was a great, clean race there. Lots of passing happening. Pietro Segal, always you got to be aware of him if he's tracking you down, because he will not give up. Great effort by him.
40.79. Miata's time is faster. So it looks like the Japanese Ninja will be going in as the faster third place skater.
Well, Miata Shogo, he's just on an incredible run. A number of A finals that he's qualified for. The last 2 World Tour stops, quite a few. And he had at least 2 in Seoul. I'm trying to remember if it was 3, but he's been a regular near the top of the standings. So showing his consistency across all distances.
Skater like that, you do have to wonder, when does the breakthrough happen? You get that result, and then you're off.
He's knocking at the door. Here's another look at that finish.
Miata Shogo, also a young man, just turned 22 years old last month. And there you have it. Segal, Boer, and Niewinski to the B final. Van het Wout, Danjanu to the A final. And that is going to be 3 Ice Maples. Jens van het Wout and Miata Shogo. What awaits us in that final? Is after the next ice resurfacing break and after the women's relay semifinals. Natalini, Kim, Segal, Boer, and Niewinski into the B final. That is our cue to take a break. The ice resurfacer coming right back out. We will be back with you in pretty much precisely 15 minutes. And as always, make sure you stick around as we have the features will air during the Ice Resurfacing breaks. Stay with us.
Ja, ik heb 4.
De afgelopen dagen. Daar mogen we best even een applausje voor laten horen, Tilburg. Want IJsportcentrum Tilburg legt een top ijsvloer in. And we will restart our competition at 15:45 according to our schedule. 15:45. Om 15:45 gaan we door met de ISU Short Track World Tour nummer 5 hier in Tilburg. De Odilo Cup is on fire.
On fire indeed, dankjewel Jan. Ja, net als onze ijsmeester, maar vooral zoals de schaatsers en natuurlijk het publiek. We gaan jullie heel even kans geven om wat te rusten, althans zeg maar het liefst.
Now, the Crystal Globe Trophy has followed the athletes every step of the way so far on the World Tour. Some of the European-based athletes got to take the trophy out around the Tilburg region earlier this week. Let's take a look at what they got up to.
Excitement levels are getting higher. I just arrived, but it's nice to be in the Netherlands. Used to be like home. Now we don't come here as often, but I expect the racing and the crowd to be amazing like always.
Netherlands is like a nice country to have a competition because the fans, there is like many fans, and like the feeling, like they are cheering for everybody, is feeling really nice and it's really helpful.
Yeah, we are really excited, me and my team, because here in the Netherlands, you know, we have a lot of people coming to see us and cheering for us, even if we are not from the Netherlands. So yeah, it's really cool skating here.
Yeah, it's definitely another level of noise, especially like when the Dutch are coming on the ice. But what I've seen is that everybody cheers for everybody, really. So like, it's really nice. It's loud, louder than anywhere else.
Expectations? To have fun, that's most important. Also, my family is coming again, as always.
Get some medals, probably, and just compete as best as I can.
Now, Tyler, you and I have personally experienced what the Dutch fans are like. We were here for the World Championships last year in Rotterdam, and it was something I will never forget, and we're hoping for more of that this weekend.
Absolutely, and we'll get it this weekend. The energy here is always off the charts. The excitement, the crowd's going to turn out. They got an educated fan base that are here to support their skaters, and it's going to be a fantastic weekend.
And, of course, the Dutch skaters want to perform at their very best, and the fans, I think, kind of expect that as well.
Absolutely, and they've been used to it in recent years with the Dutch team doing so well at the World Championships and on the World Tour, so they're going to want to see more of that this weekend.
Now, as home athletes over the course of this week, the Dutch Lions have been busy with plenty of media interviews. We got a chance to sit down with some of them as well and chat with them about what it's like to compete at home.
Skating in the Netherlands is more important than in most countries. So short track really evolved the last 10 years. I'm 30 now, so I've been through most of it. But then, you know, we had Shinky, we had Niels and the old boys who did a great job with the relays, getting more attention to it. And then it just steadily grows. We had Susanne, who made so many Olympic medals that helped us a lot. But yeah, it's been tough because we've always been kind of in the shadow of long track.
Yeah, long track skating, that's really the more popular thing still, I think. But maybe from now it's going to shift a bit, and yeah, the younger skaters are skating in like just skating classes, and it's not really particular long track or short track. And maybe now there's going to be more children going to the side of short track, so that will be nice for the future. Yeah, I think the World Championships in Rotterdam last year were a really big competition with a lot of people, and that really showed, I think, the development of the sport here in the Netherlands.
Yeah, skating before the home crowd is special every time. I've done it a lot of times now already. It's really special, and I'm happy I've already been through it a lot of times, and yeah, I'm hoping for it this weekend as well. So What I think that makes the team special, I think it's because we kind of know we need each other, right? My hopes this weekend, well, yeah, I mean the relay for sure is going to be the highlight of the weekend. So it would be awesome if we could skate the final, have a big battle with the other teams, and the crowd is going to go crazy, and that's going to make the weekend awesome.
I think Xandra is gonna try to really do something great here in front of the home crowd. So I'm gonna hope that's how it's gonna be. Yeah, we just really try to make like a party of it. We try to celebrate the wins and really enjoy everything we're doing, so that you can look back in some years and you can think of some really good times you had.
Now, Tyler, speed skating in the Netherlands is a very big deal, but for a lot of the history, it's been up at Tialf, Herenveen, the long track. Now, within the last little while, it's the short track that's really becoming popular.
Absolutely. The short track program's really growing here. And if you look back, historically, there wasn't a lot of attention given by the Dutch team on the short track program. They had some success early on, the late 80s, early 90s. Monique Velzeboer, aunt of Michelle Velzeboer, and Xander Velzeboer, who had some great success at the World Championships in the 1988 Olympics as a demo event. However, as we moved into the 2000s, they still didn't have a full-time program here in Holland for short track. And it wasn't until about 2006 that program got established. 2010, Jeroen Otter comes in and he sets that program on fire. And then we get the likes of Shinky Connect, Jorien Temors, Susanna Scholting, the Velzeboer sisters, Jens van 't Wout coming through that program now, and it's just doing phenomenally well.
It's been great to see that Dutch program getting stronger. One of many, getting a little bit more powerful every single year, and lots more to come over the course of this weekend.
Today we're going to talk about how an athlete can speed up throughout a race. Everything from a slow start in a 1500 to top speed at the end of a 500 has a lot to do with an athlete's technique. So for example, an athlete might press their knees over their toes. They might press their hips down towards their heels. They might even take their chest and press it down towards their thighs to help increase the pressure into the ice and also the speed around the track. You'll also see during these races, athletes might lean just a little bit with their hips on a slow speed, a little bit more as they speed up, and at top speed you see the full compression, the full lean angle through the hips, and you usually see an athlete put that hand down on the ice in what's called a pivot. When you see athletes race, especially in like a 1500 where the pace starts a little slower, you often see that everyone's kind of upright. Not standing straight up, but just more in just an athletic position as opposed to a full skater crouch. Now, the reason for that is because it takes less energy to be higher up. It takes more energy to compress through the joints. And so when you see athletes speed up, they compress in 3 different ways. We want to compress through the ankle angle, driving the knees over the toes. We want to compress at the knee level, dropping the hips down. And we want to compress at the hip level, bringing the shoulders down as well. So typically by the time an athlete's going full speed at the end of the race, they're fully compressed, chest down to thighs, to the point where your fingers could touch the ice. That's how low these athletes are skating for the entirety of a race. All right, so if I'm starting in a 1500, I'm not going super fast. I'm also not way down into position yet. Now, part of that's because I'm conserving energy, but another part of that is that I don't need top speed yet, so I can be in a looser, higher position. But as the race goes on, I'm gonna naturally start to get my hips a little lower, put a little more bend down in my knees, and press my knees over my toes. That increases my ankle angle. That's one of the easiest ways to increase speed out here on the ice. But the best skaters, they keep getting lower and lower with their hips. And that creates power into the ice. And so you'll notice some athletes, they use their foot speed as they're going around the turns. Some athletes sink into their hips and they use their power to go around the turns. Both options are effective. Using power from your hips is a little more efficient. And that's why we see those more efficient athletes usually have a little more energy in the tank on the last lap of the race. Along with getting lower and compressing through the joints to speed up, you'll also notice athletes, they change how hard they're leaning around the track. So even though we're always on the same 111-meter track, if an athlete's going relatively slow, they might only need to lean about this much. But as the pace picks up, we press those joint angles down into the ice, and we take the hip on the opposite side and we lean the hip into the turn. So a medium speed might look about like this, but again, as the speed picks up, as that crouch lowers down, we also can increase the lean angle like this for a top speed event. Okay, so now we'll talk about lean angle. So again, when I'm not going super fast, I don't have to lean really hard into my turns. But as the pace picks up, not only am I compressing down into my skating position, I'm doing what's called a lean angle here with my hip. So as I keep my left hip into the corner, I can continue to press down through the shoulders, and I haven't picked up my foot speed. I've just changed my angle to the ice, which is automatically giving me more speed, more efficiency, more power, and more control with each stride. So there you have it. Some tips and tricks to watch your favorite skaters race.
Kaart voor Dijk in één afstanden, 2 stuks. Goodiebag te waarde van €250 en natuurlijk ook 2 kaarten voor Dijk in enkele afstanden. Dat is fantastisch. Het komt nog 1 keer op het beeld hopelijk, dan kan de top 3. Ja, heel goed. Heel goed. De top 3, als het goed is sta je nu in beeld. Maak een screenshotje alsjeblieft van je telefoon. Maak eens, Roel, Joris en Bas, maak een screenshot van je telefoon en vul dat in met je spelersnaam, speeldatum. En mail dat naar marketing@hollandandbarrett.com. Dus alsjeblieft dat screenshot maken en mail dat aan marketing@hollandandbarrett.com. En jullie prijzen komen eraan. En let goed op je e-mail, hè. Want daar zitten dan die kaarten voor de Dijk in enkele afstanden. Stel in, en dat is al binnen een week. We hebben inmiddels de lichten weer aan. Dat wil zeggen dat wij snel weer naar de wedstrijden gaan. Dat wil zeggen dat mijn collega's Jan en Justin met open mond hebben zitten kijken naar de feitjes van de quiz. Maar we gaan ook met open mond kijken naar het schaatsen op het ijs.
Absoluut, we gaan de rush weer vielen hier bij de ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg. Gefeliciteerd alle prijswinnaars als jullie hebben gewonnen. En natuurlijk gefeliciteerd jullie allemaal dat je hier bent, want het is een heel wijs besluit. Dat jij er vandaag bij bent hier in Tilburg. Once again, welcome back. It's time for racing again for the first team event of our afternoon program, the women's 3000 meter relay semi-finals. Ja, dat is natuurlijk mooi, want de short track is een van de weinige sporten, Justin, waarin de relay, het teamonderdeel, eigenlijk misschien wel belangrijker is dan het individueel.
Ja, de relay is natuurlijk ook gewoon een heel belangrijk trainingsonderdeel. Je moet het met elkaar doen, je hebt een ploeg nodig om beter te worden.
Changing things up now. First look at relays in the afternoon session. The women's 3,000 meter relay, they will do the finals later on. The mixed relay, they did the semifinals in the morning session, and that's how we'll kick off the World Tour, I believe, tomorrow with the mixed relay. And after the women's 3,000 meter relay today, they'll have the men's semifinals for the 5,000, and those finals will go tomorrow. But after this, we'll get into the men's 500 meter finals. 2 semifinals, 4 teams in each. Top 2 go to the A final. 3rd and 4th will race in the B final. Heat 1, Canada, Hungary, Poland, USA, the Ice Maples, the Falcons, the Hussars, and the Eagles. Starting off for Canada, Kim Boutin, Petra Yashapati for the Falcons. It is Gabriela Topolska for the Hussars and Corin Stoddard for the Eagles.
Go to the start. Ready.
The Ice Maples have crossed the line first in every World Tour event so far this season. However, the first weekend in Montreal, they were given a penalty, and that meant the Gladiators of Italy won. But since then, it has just been the Maple Leaf atop the podium.
International Short Track Speed
Claudia Gagnon in right now. Her first World Tour stop of the season.
Typical start to this relay. Skaters getting settled, establishing their position.
Someone dropped their glasses.
Lost a pair of glasses in the corner. They've been picked up.
I think it was Louisiana Stahl of the USA Eagles. She doesn't have any on right now anyway. And shares in the visors go up.
Canadian Ice Maples comfortable in the lead as always, but the Hussar tracking them down. Tight pack still here.
There's Kamila Stormovska slotted right in behind Florence Brunel. Maybe my favorite helmet design of the weekend on Sarah Luca Backsky. She's off the ice now, but she has a sloth on the front. Just the creativity that comes out now that athletes are allowed to do that.
Well, it's that or Rich's Maverick helmet.
Oh, right, that's also good.
Again, still early in this relay. You want to make sure you're just getting clean exchanges all the way through. That's the advantage of having that lead position. You get a little bit more space to make your exchange. When you're in fourth position and get a little bit tight on the exit, that's where the American Eagles are right now.
Corin Stoddart.
Oh, Yashipati having a look up the inside of Polska there.
Leading the race now are this season.
And there's that helmet back on the ice for Sarah Luca Backsky. Closing in behind Kamila Stormovska. Still the Canadians off in front. They have not relinquished that lead. The American, the USA Eagles just sitting right back in fourth right now with Louisiana Stahl.
Well, with 12 laps to go, things heat up. Here we see Claudia Gagnon putting on a bit of a lead, trying to get some separation for the Ice Maples so they can skate freely, not worry about anyone trying to pass them.
Kamila Stormovska right up behind Rebecca Shilice-Nemeth, not taking the pass just yet. Now the Canadians soaring off into the lead a little bit.
Here's Kim Boutin. She'll try to open that lead. A little bit of a slip in that corner. We've seen a lot of skaters go down there, but she's solid on her footing now.
Been 3 gold medals in a row for the Canadians, and they are 8 laps away from getting back to attempt to add to that.
And when we talk about the team overall Crystal Globe, these relays are so valuable. 300 points up for grabs for the winning team. That's really separated the Ice Maples in the Team Crystal Globe standings by having won 3 of these 4 World Tour relays already on the women's side.
The second weekend in Montreal, they swept all 3 relays. And Sarau into the race. Rebecca Shilice-Nemeth for the Hungarian Falcons. Kamila Stormovska, pardon me, Natalia Malashevska slipping a little bit in third. Stoddart falling back. One more change to come. It will be Florence Brunel to cap things off for Canada.
Well, we're all back together here with 2 laps to go. We're going to have a good finish. The Falcons looking up the inside on Brunel. Brunel taking it right back.
For a moment, the Hungarian Falcons, and it's Brunel down. On her own, that same corner, the door is now open. The USA Eagles back in the fray, and Kristen Santos Griswold making a play. And at the line, it is the Hussars.
The skates getting entangled there between the Falcons and the Eagles at the line. A lot of action unfolding that last lap. It's this corner we've talked about. Florence Brunel just goes on her own after she regained the lead of that race. What an unfortunate slip, but you know what? The Hussar, and it looks like the Eagles capitalizing on that.
Wow.
What a swing.
All that within 2 laps. There was Brunel going down, and then it was a battle between the Falcons and the Hussars, but then out of nowhere comes Kristen Santos Griswold and made the dash off the turn, and I think took the race. And so take your pick on what's being reviewed. A possible, that collision at the end is what is being reviewed, possibly on the Falcons.
Let's wait and see. Here's Claudia Gagnon. That's that 12 lap to go marker. Here's the exchange to Florence Brunel. She loses the lead here, but she stays wide. She's able to hook tight on the exit, regain the lead right here. And as she goes to the corner, she puts that left foot down and then just breaks out on the right.
The one corner. And then at the line, see, there's no USA Eagle to be found, but then all of a sudden, Kristen Santos Griswold.
See the blades just get caught up there too.
Yeah, the Eagles still got up for second, I believe. The Hussars take the win. Catch your breath.
Wow.
Video confirmation is required.
Well, we'll wait for the official here. We'll see what they're reviewing.
Disappointment, though, for the Falcons. They had not medaled this season in the relay. But of course, neither have the USA Eagles or the Polish Hussars. And so, nice to see some different teams back going to the A final.
Until 2 laps to go, that race was going right to plan for both the Falcons and the Ice Maples. And then short track.
That is short track. The race is not over until the skaters cross the line, and even then,
you gotta
not always over. So here is what they're looking at. And she was falling and just got caught up with Santos Griswold right there. Woo.
So Kristen Santos Griswold, the heel of her blade actually got caught in between the mounting blocks. There's a backsky's there, so her blade gets caught in between the mounting blocks of backsky skate there and just gets pulled along right there. You see it. That is unusual. Don't see that.
Very lucky that everybody got through okay. And here we have the announcement. Or not.
I think they're waiting to get the music killed.
Well, there you have it. There was no decision, no discipline needed. Poland, the Hussars, and the Eagles will go into the A final. The Falcons and the Ice Maples will race in the B final.
And the Ice Maples, we've watched so many races. They went down in that mixed relay today already as well. Not their day of the relay.
Keeping the Team Crystal Globe standings that little bit more interesting.
Absolutely.
Heat number 2. Gladiators, Ninjas, Lions, and Lungs. And it is Michelle Velzebor, as you can imagine, starting off for the Lions. It's Ariana Siegel for the Gladiators. Kurokawa Ki for the Ninjas. And Hao Wei-ying for the Lungs.
Go to the start. Ready.
Opens the door for another team to claim victory. You would have to look at the Gladiators, the only other team to pick up a World Tour victory in the women's relay this season. Although, of course, that heavy 1-2 punch for the Lions with the Velzebor sisters may follow that up with Dita Van Oorschot and Zoe Deltrap. And of course, relays, not always having the best skaters, but it does reward the best team.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams throughout history who may not always have the best individual skaters, but if they really focus on working hard and executing good relays in practice and they can bring that to the race, you can have a team that maybe doesn't necessarily have the superstars that other countries have, but they can compete.
Back to the first round of skaters. Still not much change.
Again, this is kind of the early stages of the relay where teams are just kind of feeling each other out, you know, getting a sense for the ice, maybe trying to reposition themselves a little bit, but you're not making any attacks just yet.
Lisa Confortola in the front, and she's being stalked by Sandra Velzebor. Now it's Chiara Betty on the front ahead of Dita Van Oorschot. Rika for the Ninjas and Liu Wanyu for the Lungs.
So we've talked about it a little bit, Gavin. When the ice is a little bit breaky like this, skaters just have to take that little extra bit of caution that ends up being maybe a little bit of more hesitation, a little bit more tensity in the muscles as they're going through the turn. So that takes away a little bit of their speed and a little bit of their endurance, and that's when things get, you know, a little bit crazy.
As if it wasn't crazy enough already. Still waiting for the first real shake-up to come, and it's imminent. Inside 14 to go.
Yeah, usually I think around that 12-lap marker, that's when we'll watch things shake up a bit.
On the exchange, the Lions had a chance for the lead, but Ben Urshot opting to play it safe a little bit. Loses it a little bit around the corner.
Urshot struggling on her right skate at the apex. She's really holding that pivot quite long. Just looks like just not quite comfortable on that right blade right now.
That's allowed Ariana Ariana Fontana a little bit to fly. A little bit of an advantage, some separation between all four teams right now.
But here come the Velzebor sisters in this back-to-back exchange. I think when Zandra gets out, she's going to be looking to make a move.
Starting with pure speed, following with pure speed. She is right up on the 6 of Elisa Confortola now, and she makes the move.
There you have it. Nice inside pass. Lead control position now for the Dutch Lions. See how Urshot handles this speed here with that right foot.
The Lungs also getting right back into the mix. And that's even last time around, their skater just about lost it coming out of the corner. And it's 3 abreast. Not 3 abreast. Now it's 3 abreast when they're side by side like that.
Deltrap holds the lead off that exchange. Ariana Fontana had a look to the inside, but wasn't quite there.
Fontana will go to Seagull, who gets right up on Michelle Velzebor. One more change allowed to come. It's Hao Wei-ying for China. And it will be Sandra Velzebor. Why not end with pure speed on the front? Ariana Seagull has some work to do to hold off the hard-charging Song Jiao Ri. It is Sandra Velzebor and Elisa Confortola finishing things off for the Italian Gladiators. Lions, Gladiators 1 and 2. Netherlands and Italy into the A final. Valiant performance, though, by the Chinese Lungs.
Well, the Chinese Lungs here, as we talked about with their B team, it's not the lineup we're used to seeing, but they're really showcasing their depth here, their ability to hang with the top teams on the World Tour, despite not having their top skaters.
So they, from Italy, leading for most of it, but the Dutch hit the front.
Here's that exchange where Ariana Fontana almost had a look to the inside, but Deltrap's able to maintain that lead. The pink blades matching the pink helmet, matching the pink glasses on Deltrap. Nils Kirschholt giving the thumbs up. He's happy with that race. Well skated.
It wasn't that long ago, 2 World Championships ago, the Dutch women swept everything in the gold medal stakes. And this program also building plenty of depth.
And it's still quite a different look to the Dutch Lions team. The likes of Yara van Kerkhoff having retired. She was, a strong pillar of that Dutch Lion team for a long time. Susanna Schulting having moved currently, temporarily, we're not sure.
Question mark?
Yeah. To the long track program. And then Selma Poutsma, another skater who's just kind of managing some injuries right now.
Coming back from those, she skated a bit at the European Championships. So, talk about depth. There are the qualifiers for the respective finals. And now, finals time for the men's 500 meters. Not long now, the B final. Thomas Natalini and Pietro Seagull of the Italian Gladiators. Brandon Kim, USA. Toon Boer of the Netherlands, and Michał Niewinski from Poland.
We're going to race for position number 6 in the final standings of this 500 Tilburg meters.
And we'll throw it down the ice for their introductions.
Men's 500-meter PE final. First starting position, helmet number 14, Italian gladiator, Thomas Natalini. second starting position is helmet number 42. It's American Eagle, Brandon Kim. Third starting position is for helmet number 11, another Italian gladiator, Pietro Siga. On starting position number 4 is helmet number 20. He is that onze deel. He is that onze Tilburg. And on starting position number 5 is helmet number 18, representing the Polish Hussars, Michał Jański.
Go to the start. Red.
Not quite sure what Tunbor was pointing at on his kit. It looked like one of the little messages that they have on the legs. It is Brandon Kim. The Eagles on the front, but right behind him will have the man with the home crowds willing him on. And Tunbor goes for the front, and he hangs on in the corner.
Tunbor wants this. He wants to win this race at home. He's got Natalini trying to track down on the outside. Brandon Kim defending that second position nicely.
Looking out for Pietro Siga as well. He looks like he's about to do something, but maybe I'm wrong. It is still Tunbor on the front. Here comes Pietro Siga up into third, but Tunbor
delivering the performance with a home crowd. Great race. You could see how badly Tunbor wanted to win this one. Aggressive off the start, makes his move on Natalini right away, not taking any time, wants to get by Brandon Kim. Great race from Tunbor. He's having a great weekend here.
Good weekend. The 23-year-old, he lives in Nijmegen. He's not one we've seen often this season, and here he is looking very good, winning the big final.
It was a final as well in 1500 today.
I've already forgotten, but I take your word on that. But no, but I was just saying, coming into this weekend, we have not seen him that much. Indeed, no, it's Sven Roos.
Oh, Sven Roos, sorry. These Dutch Lions are stacking up. Great. We haven't seen a lot of Tunbor, but there's some opportunities opening up with the absence of the Chinese team, the Chinese Lungs, as well as the Korean White Tigers. So it's great to see some of these skaters that we don't always see this late in the rounds.
The backdrop is out. The trophy is out. We wait the lights to go down, but will result. Good win for Tunbor ahead of Brandon Kim. Also a good performance by the young American skater. And then the two Italians and Michał Niewinski in fifth. And the lights go down, and we will throw it down to the ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the men's 500-meter daily final. On first starting position is helmet number 2, number 1 ranked in the 500-meter world ranking, Canadian Iceman goal, Steven Dubois. Number 3 of the 500-meter world ranking, Canadian Iceman goal, Johan
start list for the 500-meter men's A final. It is the exact top 5 of the current discipline standings on the World Tour. So the 500-meter rankings 1 through 5 on the ice.
You couldn't ask for a better lineup in this 500-meter final.
And the combination of Dubois and Pierre-Gilles 1 and 2 on the line has been unbeatable so far. Be interesting to see what William Danjanu can do out of position 5.
Go to the start. Right.
And there they are, 1 through 5. Miata, though, quick move up into second to disrupt that Canadian block on the front.
Great quick move by Miata Shogo there. William Danjanu's got his work cut out for him, as well as Jens van Wout.
Pierre-Gilles gets it right back. The door is open, but he slams it shut on Miata. Danjanu into Miata, into Jens van Wout.
There's still a race for third here, though. These guys got to go. All 3 are down.
Van Wout rips off the glasses and gets going again.
The skaters coming behind them.
It is Dubois and Pierre-Gilles into the final lap. It is Stephen Dubois who will take the victory. Jordan Pierre-Gilles for second. And Danjanu is letting this one go, but it will be Jens van Wout immediately up onto his feet, potentially getting bronze. A rip on his skin suit. A wry shrug of the shoulders.
Well, Danjanu went for that inside pass on Jens van Wout there. Ran up on Shogo, creating that domino effect. We're going to have to get to the replay there.
And potentially contact from behind is what they are reviewing, but the Canadian dream.
Stephen Dubois showing his dominance in the 500 again. Got a quick start off the inside lane. So hard to touch him when he has that starting position, and he has the speed to go with it.
Miata Shogo achingly close to the podium. No individual medals yet for the Japanese ninjas, as there is the incident. A stumble, and that's out of the corner. That was when they all got back up.
Well, Stephen Dubois, third 500-meter victory this World Tour season. Just phenomenal. Jordan Pierre-Gilles too, critical part of his race was taking that second place back on Shogo after he made that pass.
And then what are you going to do? Bronze medal from Jens van Wout. And so here we go.
After review, we give yellow card for behavior for skater number 3 from Canada.
Yellow card to Danjanu.
Dat betekent, we hebben de officiële uitslag. Dat is een yellow card voor William Danjanu. There's a 4th place for Miata Shogo. It's a 3rd place and a bronze.
So Dubois, Pierre-Gilles, and Jens van Wout, the podium. Miata Shogo so close. Just who got up first, essentially, and it was Jens van Wout. And it is the yellow card. Of course, dangerous behavior. The ruling. So Danjanu maybe a bit up more on eggshells for the last little bit this weekend. Dove up the inside.
Yeah, just carried a little bit more speed that he wanted to, running into Shogo there.
And so if you're looking to the results that get thrown out when they decide the Crystal Globe rankings, you would think that would likely be one of William Danjanu's, just because he's won so many races this season.
Well, I think he actually, with the yellow card, I've got to confirm this, but I don't think you get any points.
That's my thought too.
So that would certainly be a blow there, and then he would definitely be throwing that one out. That allows Jens van Wout to close the gap a little bit.
This is the medal ceremony for the men's 500 meter at the ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg 2025 Odilo Cup. The medals will be presented by our chief referee, Beata Padar. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, representing the Dutch Lions. Zijn tweede medaille van vandaag. Hier is Jens van het Woud. Tilburgse kruik en sjaal erbij. Zo blijft hij hongerig naar meer. Jens van het Woud. In second place and winner of the silver medal, representing the Canadian Ice Maples, Jordan Pierre-Gilles. Jordan Pierre-Gilles. And in first place, winner of the gold medal, also representing the Canadian Ice Maples, Steven Dubois. Haha, wat is hij blij met zijn kruik en sjaal. Steven Dubois. What a great champion. What a great winner. And let's bring them together, ladies and gentlemen. Winner Steven Dubois. Number 2 Jordan Pierre-Gilles. En het brons van Jens van het Woud.
Almost an identical podium for the 500 meters in Seoul. It was Dubois, Pierre-Gilles, and Robert Krusbergs on that day.
Well, Steven Dubois moves up into third in the overall Crystal Globe standings with that win right here. And the silver medal by Jordan Pierre-Gilles extends the lead to Canadian Ice Maples in the Crystal Globe team standings.
Pierre-Gilles waving around to the crowd. He spotted a couple Maple Leaf carrying fans in the corner, pointed to them, gave them an extra wave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
One more medal race still to come. But a look back at that 500-meter final. World Championships, it was Jordan Pierre-Gilles who had to get up off the ice and get around for a bronze medal a year ago. 1-2 for Canada. And the Dutch skater in third. The lights have gone back down here. One more flood still to come. And we get into the women's relay B and A finals, and then the men's relay semifinals. So lots more to come.
Straks een keer gezien die duiking, want die komen eraan. Maar eerst gaan we eventjes kijken naar allerlei mooie boodschappen van onze partners en sponsoren. Waaronder natuurlijk ook Guido en zeker ook duiking. Even ogen naar het grote scherm.
Now, William Dongenew of the Canadian Ice Maples has been leading the way in the Crystal Globe since the start of the season, and he is hoping to continue that over the course of this weekend and next week into Milan. We spoke with William Dongenew earlier this week. Let's take a look.
actually started just skating at 2 when I was 2 years old. My dad, coming from an African country to Canada, he thought it was super important for me to learn how to skate. He didn't know how to skate. He obviously never learned. So for him, coming to Canada was a big thing. I had to know how to skate at an early age. And so I started with hockey around 2 years old. And then eventually I saw the Olympics on TV. I think it was the 2006 Olympics. And I was trying to do the same thing. I was in my bedroom trying to imitate and copy what I saw on TV. And my parents were like, yeah, we have to put him in that sport. And that's how I started. Yeah, I think I realized I was good at short track around when I started doing international competitions. I also realized that the level was a lot higher than I thought, racing at an early age against guys like Jens on a junior level, and really motivated me to work hard and try to accomplish something big. I've always been taller. Even when I was younger, I was not necessarily the strongest physically, but I was always really tall and lanky. So I had to work with that from a very young age. It makes me hard to read as a skater because it's like lefties in tennis or something like that. They don't skate the same way. They don't play the same way, and I feel like I don't skate like everyone else, and it gives me a little edge on some things. But it also comes with challenges that I try to work around. I won't tell you my challenges so that yeah, no one can read me. But it comes with challenges and advantages that I try to play with for sure.
William Danjanu taking flight at the line.
The World Championship is always, the level is so high, everyone's there, so yeah, it was a crazy moment. I think I'll never forget that moment. And on a collective standpoint, it was also my last race of the season, so it was amazing, and I'm very fortunate that my teammates were there to support me, so that was great. Yeah.
He's still building. He's still building the speed.
Yeah, I think this season has been crazy so far. There's nothing too much I can say about it, apart from the fact that I feel blessed. I feel like I've been having a great season, good races, but there's still a lot of things I want to work on, and the field is so high and the level is so competitive right now that it's amazing to be in that position. I'm happy also that I can continue to learn from my mistakes and to improve on what I have right now. And just it's also a good season to get ready for the Olympic Games. It was very hard missing the last Olympics. I had to question why I was doing the sport. I had to put something into perspective. When I started to understand that, then my performances already started to get better, and whatever happens, I can be proud of what I've done. Yeah, I think the celebrations for me are super important. So when I won that first gold medal in Montreal, it felt like I was finally able to fly. It's like a little bird trying to leave the nest. It's like, okay, I'm in Canada, I'm doing good, but never being able to fly away from that little nest at home. When I finally got that gold medal on an international competition, it felt like I was flying away, and finally being able to something I've been dreaming of for so long. So yeah, it was amazing. I'm not the man I am on ice. That's part of me, but that's not who I am fully. And so tapping into all my hobbies helps me keep that in mind, and also just having fun somewhere else is always nice. It's just if skating is not going well, I can go play chess with my friends, I can read a book. And then when I come back to skating, it's just much more enjoyable because I have so much more outside of it that I'm not depending on the results or the way skating is going at the moment. Yeah, so I have my own clothing brand. It comes from passion for short track. I do skin suits, personalized skin suit, and also hoodies and stuff like that. I'm trying to expand some more T-shirts, more hoodies, some pants, and everything, so that you can be dressed from head to toe with my own merch. I'm very passionate about, and yeah, it's very cool. I like to dream a lot. I want my brand also to expand and to reach more people. I want the sport to expand and reach more people. That would be something amazing. But for the moment, I think we're ready as a team. Winning Olympic gold individually and as a team would be great. That's definitely one of my dreams right now.
Now, Tyler, when you see William Danjanu off the ice, he's quite a bit taller than a lot of the skaters you see out there, so he's a different breed of skater. What really makes him stand out?
Well, aside from the height, he has about every tool in the toolbox that you need to be successful, and that's where he has more depth than a lot of the other skaters that we're seeing on the world tour right now. Typically, you look at a skater, you can point out easy weaknesses or what their strengths are, and they have a few strengths that they're really going to use in each event. Maybe they have a great start, they have great top speed, but maybe they end up slowing down, they don't quite have the stamina. But when you look at William Danjanu right now, he's got the start, he's got the speed, he's got the endurance, and best of all, he's got the ability to pass, he's got the ability to control from the front and use his track patterns to defend his position like nobody else right now. And that's why he's on top of the World Tour standings. Now, that new format in the Crystal Globe standings rewards athletes who are good in all individual events. Coming into this season, you might have said maybe he's a 1,500-meter specialist. He's shown that's not at all the case. He's an all-rounder. Yeah, it's been incredible to watch. Last year, we saw him break out on the 1,500-meter. He was winning 1,500 meters across the World Cup circuit over the course of the season. Then we came to the World Championships. 1,500 meter didn't quite go his way, but he comes and he wins the 1,000 meter, and we say, okay, he's more of a 1,000 meter, 1,500 meter guy, but he doesn't quite have the sprint yet. Well, that's wrong. He comes out this year, wins the 500 meter. He's winning the 1,000s, winning the 1,500 meters. He's winning across the board. One more block of racing still to come. Some more medals to be handed out as well. Stay with us.
Work hard, win some medals, and just enjoy the ride. I started figure skating when I was 3 years old, and then when I was about 8 or 9, I saw a Disney Channel commercial.
When you follow your dreams, they can really come true.
Hi, my name is Kylie, and I love to speed skate.
Yeah, I begged my mom to take me. My first practice, me and a ton of 50-plus-year-old men. And my mom was like, okay, she's gonna hate this, but I absolutely loved it. I think when I skate, there's a lot of bad words that go through my head when I'm skating to myself. I'm not gonna say them here. I really, really like to skate off of instinct. I like to think quick on my feet and make those changes. I think just knowing that you have to constantly change your plan and be adaptable has helped me a lot, and understanding that I can be adaptable. It's not the fastest person that's always gonna win. It could be the smartest, it could be the safest, it could be anything. Because this sport is so unpredictable, it definitely makes the victories that much more sweet. Going into the 2022 Olympics, I was pretty certain I was going to be done after that Olympics. I trained as hard as I can. I was one final stretch, one final push, and then I had the best season of my career. I felt like I was making a lot of big improvements. Went to the Olympics, was a medal contender, and obviously did not have the results that I had hoped for. That 4 years leading up to it, it was everything I did. It was, how is this gonna affect my training, my outcome, my race? I thought about the Olympics every minute of every day. I struggled a lot with where I stood with this sport. I think because I went through that mindset of I did everything right. I trained hard, I did it all. I did everything right and it still didn't happen. I could go another 4 years, I could do everything right, and the same thing could happen. Something out of my control could happen. And I had to determine if I was ready to handle that, if that would be worth it to me, if it was solely about the medal at the end of the day. And I decided that it wasn't. Ooh, weird. It's weird to even consider myself world champion. I honestly don't know that I ever really thought I would get there. The year before, I had medaled at every World Cup. I still had a good season the year before that and went to World Champs and did not do that great at World Champs. And I was like, oh man, I'm a choker. I don't know how to do well when it counts. The first race came. I was in front with a lap to go, got pushed out. Stayed on my feet this time though, so I still crossed in second. after that 15 was probably the craziest 500 I've ever been in my life. And then, yeah, the 1,000 was not the most conventional win. Restart with a lap to go and 3 of us going down. But yeah, it was really special. And then be up on the podium in every distance, including relays with my teammates, was really special. Besides training in school, I'm pretty busy, but I'm just trying to have fun. Obviously, I live with my dogs and my husband. I wouldn't have been able to make it this far in the sport without him and his support. My huskies are Bear and Coda. Bear is my sweet angel baby, the kindest little sweetheart ever. Coda is our disaster dog. He'll chew things up, loves to grab like a loaf of bread off the kitchen counter, take it outside. He'll take weird things through the dog door, actually, like box of something that was like this, a candle. I think whenever I compete or race, it's not just me that's up there, it's everyone who's been along the journey with me, my family, my friends, my coaches, my teammates. Representing USA is representing all of that. It's not, like I'm not just there for myself.
Als voormalig Pries Carnaval hier in het zuiden kan ik zeggen, jullie zijn allemaal klaar voor ons mooie visken. Hartelijk goed gedaan, applaus voor jezelf. Zo, genoeg gezelligheid gehad, althans genoeg gezelligheid voor nou eventjes. We gaan langzaam weer terug, de lampen die gaan weer aan. En dat betekent, nou, net als met de carnaval, als de lampen aangaan, gaan we weer serieuze dingen doen. Meestal is dat naar huis, maar in dit geval gaan we met onze snuffert weer hier in het bevroren water. En dat wil zeggen dat wij richting onze speakers gaan. Dat is Justin van Zutphen en Jan van der Meulen.
Dankjewel, DJ van Pietaan. Dankjewel, collega Rutger. Brabantse collega Rutger. Ook jongen, als het niet nog een eigen publiek is, jongen, dan gaat hij helemaal los. We hebben het weer gemerkt. Goede energie hier in Tilburg, al 2 dagen lang. En we gaan ons opmaken voor opnieuw finales. Want we gaan de B-finale rijden en de A-finale van de Women's 3000 meter relay. De vrouwen 3000 meter relay komt eraan. En dat betekent, starten met de B-finale, gaan we rijden voor plek nummer 5.
Final races on day 1 here in Tilburg. The days are always capped with relays, and in this case on day 1, women's BA finals, the 3,000 meters, and then the semi-finals for the men's relay 5,000 meters. The final, the Falcons, Lungs, Ninjas, and Ice Maples. So it will be a new team atop the podium, snapping that 3-race streak for the Canadian women, who had won stops 2, 3, and 4 on World Tour. But they still want to add to the point total in the Team Crystal Globe standings. They, Canadians, are in charge in that one right now, but maximizing points is the priority for them. And Danae Blais in for the Ice Maples. Kim Boutin is out. The other 3 are the same. Florence Brunel, Hirai Ami,
Go to the start. Ready.
Song Jiaori for the Chinese lungs and Petra Yashapati for the Hungarian Falcons. And the Canadians so often gunning it to the front. Different tactic this time.
At least for right now. We'll see if it changes quickly.
It is still early, you're right. You can go from fourth to first in the blink of an eye. But right now, they're leaving that gap open up a little bit, but as you have pointed out many times, that just allows them to gain speed once they decide to make that move.
Keeps them a little bit out of some of the congestion on the exchanges too.
At the front, it is those Chinese lungs. Liu Wanyu on the front, followed by Rebecca Shilice-Nemeth as the exchanges go in. That's Petra Yashapati for Hungary. And she makes the move for the lead, going up inside Song Jiaori.
Again, if you see those opportunities open up, you have a chance to get to the lead, you gotta take them. Just that little bit easier for the exchanges. It's nice to be in the draft, but in the relay, sometimes that lead is the best option.
Inside 19 laps to go. Of course, the joys of the relay, if you're on the front, you're not shouldering all of that responsibility by yourself, breaking the wind.
That's right, you get a little bit of a rest, almost like an interval training where you're going out for about 15 seconds, but even the wind-ups in the relay, when you have to get out for the skater on track, those do add up as well. You're working on those wind-ups to gain your speed so you can make that clean exchange.
A little off balance there from the lungs, but they get it back together. Song Jiaori. It is Yashapati on the front for the Falcons. And on the exchange, trying for the lead, not going to make it stick. Some good defensive skating by Backsky.
Well, let's see if the Ice Maples make a decision to go for it, because the pace is going to pick up as it is right now. Claudia Gagnon winding up from position 4. There's not a lot of room. Teams in front are keeping it really tight.
Courtney Saroux in for the Canadians. It is Kurokawa Ki right in front of her.
Let's watch for this exchange from Courtney Saroux. She's very strong. See if she can launch Brunel up. Nope.
Brunel was sizing up the middle there. Just didn't come in time, but she makes the move on her own anyway. Florence Brunel into third. But Yashapati, dangerous, speedy skater on the front. And there's a move into second on that exchange by the Canadians.
Bit of a missed exchange by the Chinese lungs there. That created that opportunity.
And now they are right up, and now can they do it again? Yes, they can. Claudia Gagnon right into the lead.
You can time that exchange well. You can use it as a way to pass, and Ice Maples are doing just that in back-to-back exchanges.
Is it an intuitive thing, or is there communication where you can see that door opening? Do you let your teammate know somehow?
Not really, but you can kind of judge the way your teammate's skating, like they're looking to, build up and really launch you into an exchange. Again, there's the advantage when you're out in front. You can try to take more of a speed track. You have a little bit more freedom to have a good exchange from the lead.
Brunel leading Yashapati. One more exchange allowed. Inside, 3 to go. Here comes Danae Blais. Here comes Saraluka Backsky, and Danae Blais pouring away a little bit now. There's a big separation. Disappointment to be sure. They're not in the A final, but the Canadians rolling it right around on course. Just need to get through the final corner. Danae Blais does just that. She'd been down twice before on that corner for various reasons, and that corner has been tricky for some of the skaters, but she made it through there, and the Canadians take the B final. Even at the back, it sort of felt like they had control. They were measuring things and waiting for their right moment, and a couple exchanges in a row got them into the lead.
Yeah, patience is key in short track, and you don't want to get desperate, make any desperate moves. So Ice Maple's doing that in the back, staying patient, waiting for their moment. And again, still all these points in the relay, they add up. So these B finals, as we always mention, still so important.
The Canadians will put those points in the bank. They look to finish strong, and so now there's the traffic jam as the B final gets off and the A final is ready to get on. It has Poland, United States, Netherlands, and Italy. And this is where you get to have a little fun, you get to have a little personality when they introduce each team. So we'll see what they do. Some just go for a little cheer, some just wave, others choreograph something. I'm awaiting to see if, should Italy make the men's final, if they bring out the orchestra that they pretend to do the last number of times. Here's a look at that trophy. Just in the back of your mind, Tyler's pointed out, now it's stuck in my mind. One false move. Fortunately, we're up here and we would never get the blame for anything.
That's right.
The lights go down. Time for some introductions.
Okay, Tilburg, daar gaan we. Spektakel gegarandeerd. This is the A final, women's 3000 meter relay. First starting position for the Polish Hussars. Kamila Skowroska, Gabriela Kowalska, Nikola Mazur, Natalia Moniszewska. Second starting position for the United States of America Eagles. Kristen Santos Rizzo, Colleen Stoller, Julia Lettey, and Louise Interstall. Nou, zet die decibel meter even aan. Want hier zijn ze, start position number 3, the Dutch Lionesses Team And the fourth starting position is for the Italian gladiators, Gladia Trinci d'Italia. Elisabeth Fontana, Anna Singer, Gloria Iucci, Anna Fontana.
The message over the heart the Lions were pointing to. Italy, the only other team not wearing a maple leaf to win a relay. Gold medal on the World Tour this season. Chance for them to get a second. Poland, the Hussars, still have yet to register a medal from their women's program in individual or in the relay. So good chance for them right here. Of course, the world champions from the Netherlands would bring this place down if they finish in first.
Go to the start. Ready.
So it's Confortola for the Gladiators. Stoddart for the Eagles, Michelle Velzeboer for the Lions, and Gabriela Topolska for the Hussars. And now it's Stormovska in on the front.
Breaks to the Eagles team in this 3,000-meter final with the finishing power of Stoddard and Kristen Santos Griswold. You can't count them out.
Poland won bronze at the European Championships in the women's relay. Natalia Malashevska on the front. Zoe Deltrap. Nice to see her healthy. She was in a crash yesterday. In the end, couldn't do the race. Came back later to skate and is back out here. So obviously doing just fine. First time through the order. No real movement just yet inside 21 laps, but we await the moment. Then you have Sandra Velzeboer sitting there in second. Ariana Fontana right behind her. Kristen Santos Griswold right behind her. That is a lot of horsepower right behind the Polish Hussars. Of course, they have made the change now. Deltrap almost shoved into the back of Malashevska.
You got to watch when you're making your exchanges that you don't push your teammate into a skater ahead of them. You see that from time to time. Feet get caught up.
Yoriati down the backstretch, making the move into second place for the Gladiators. Always watching at the back. The Eagles and the Lions. Comes the moment it approaches Tyler.
Yep. The Polish Hussars have been leading this race from the beginning, controlling the speed.
A little bump there on Dita Van Oorschot. She's still going, but that opened up a slight gap.
Well, again, when you run up on a skater in front of you, usually if you put a hand up for contact, you transfer some speed, you lose some of your own momentum.
For the lead.
Gaps, there we go. The Gladiators moving to the front of the race.
On the exchange, Gloria Yoriati now. She is dropping the hammer. Natalia Malashevska has the challenge of staying with her. Elisa Confortola. Gabriela Topolska behind her, and then right behind her, Michelle Velzeboer.
Stoddard working to close this gap, get the Eagles back into this race.
Now inside 8 laps to go. Up into second, a roar of approval from the home crowd here in Tilburg. Ariana Siegel being stalked by Dita Van Oorschot. The Hussars and Eagles are almost right up there, but at the moment it's a battle for two as it gets spread out just that little bit.
Spaced up between each team here. But just you wait for those closing skaters to finish this off. They'll close those gaps down.
Yoriati, the woman who got this all going when she made the move for the lead. Another clean exchange, Elisa Confortola, but here comes Michelle Velzeboer. One more exchange coming. It's Fontana and Sandra Velzeboer.
Sandra Velzeboer setting up wide, looking inside.
Fontana can't defend it. Sandra Velzeboer has the lead. Fontana right behind her. Inside, 1 to go. Fontana's going to take a look, but it will be Dutch Lions at home, or is it?
Oh, we're going to have to go to finish. Sandra Velzeboer did not look confident in that. What a finish of that race. Ariana Fontana set up so well in that last corner entry. She stepped out wide. She got those 2 crossovers in. Looks like we got the official. They're high-fiving.
It says 8/600ths of a second, but it felt like it was shorter than that because we've seen races in the thousandths of a second.
Well, there was just that moment of panic where Sandra Velzeboer was celebrating and then thought for a moment, oh no, was that enough?
It would have been the dreaded celebration too early. And we haven't seen the official results just yet, but it does look like the Dutch Lions have heard it. They're celebrating anyway. They have their team over on their side.
They're looking at the board.
Maybe they're trying to Maybe they're just trying to put good vibes up there.
Here's a look at Sandra Velzebor's inside pass. Nice clean, but here's the setup by Fontana going out wide. There's the shoot. There's the uncertainty.
She was celebrating, and then it became, I don't wait. Oh. It is the Netherlands by 0.02 of a second. Are you kidding me?
Adding some drama to the race.
Incredible. And all the while we missed the Eagles getting up for bronze. So the Americans get up for a medal as well. But it's their moment. The Dutch Lions with the victory lap. Somewhat belated celebrations, but there are the results by 0.02 of a second. The Netherlands absolutely breathless.
0.02 of a second.
And then
the Eagles.
And another very close one for third. Late rally by the USA Eagles. Heartbreak for the Polish Hussars, still looking for a first medal from that women's program this season. Bibi Arts, the fifth member of that team, coming out to join in the celebrations. She raced earlier on, but here it is again. The late move, Fontana tucked right in.
There's that setup by Fontana there. Attacking that corner, skating right through the apex.
And then just, are you kidding me? Get out a ruler. How far is that?
Probably less than an inch, you know?
Yeah, you don't say.
The coach is, wait.
And we'll throw it down for the victory ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the women's 3,000-meter relay at the ISU Short Track World Tour Tilburg 2025 Odino Cup. The medals will be presented by our chief referee Beata Padar, and the presents by our tournament director Mr. Cees Juffermans. In third place and winners of the bronze medal, the United States of America Eagles. Julie Lataille, Kristen Santos Griswold, Louisiana Stahl, and Corinne Stoddard. Die kunnen zelf de Polonaise gaan lopen met hun kruikensjaal. The American Eagles. In second place and winners of the silver medal, Chiara Betti, Elisa Confortola, Ariana Fontana, Gloria Ioriati, Ariana Siegel, Italian Gladiators. It's silver for the Italian gladiators. And in first place, winners of the gold medal. Hier zijn ze Tilburg. Hier zijn Bibi Arts, Zoe de Trap, Diede van Oorschot, Michelle Velzenboer, Xandra Velzenboer. De Dutch Lionesses. Wereldrecordhouders, Olympisch kampioenen, wereldkampioenen, winnaars in eigen huis. Voor Xandra, voor Michelle, voor Diede, voor Zoe en voor onze eigen Brabantse Divi. Ze doen het hier in Tilburg. En we gaan het met z'n vieren. Want de kruikensjaals gaan omhoog. Het carnaval kan beginnen voor Team NL Dutch Lions.
Now, Carnival doesn't start until the end of the month here, but celebrations are well and truly underway. Nervous moments for a second there, but 0.02 of a second the difference. One of the greatest races you'll see anywhere. Not done yet. They get their pictures taken. Men's 5,000 meter relay still to come. And we will sign off for the day from here in Tilburg. As we look back. Big fan of the splash myself. When they get introduced, the knuckles and the splash afterwards, and then the reaction. Hard to feel disappointment when it was that close for the Italians. When you reassess the race, now where did that 0.02 of a second come from?
Well, you know, if you lose by 0.02, it feels a lot better if you're the team trying to make that past the finish rather than one being passed at the finish and losing it. So
yeah. There are the relay standings now. Italy right up behind the Canadian women. This is the discipline standings. This isn't the triple points for the overall Crystal Globe. This is just for the women's relay, but that's shaping up to be a good finish in Milan in a week's time.
Really tight standings there between the Ice Maples and the Italian Gladiators.
The first semi-final on the ice. Netherlands, Italy, Japan, Great Britain. Lions, Gladiators, Ninjas, and Royals. Top two go to the final. That will be the exclamation mark to end this competition tomorrow. The third and fourth place teams go to the B finals. There's Dan Koss. Shinky Connect on the ice for the Lions. Toon Boer, Jens van het Wout on the ice for the Lions. Theo Collins will kick things off for the Royals. See Niall Tracy out on the ice. Wesley Yates. And we also have Adam Hill Jr. Thomas Natalini to kick things off for the Gladiators.
Go to the start.
Yoshinaga Kazuki for the Ninjas.
Ready.
Each of these relays we always talk about, they're different beasts altogether. The mixed relay, very much a sprint relay. The women's relay, just that little bit longer, still 3,000 meters, so it's, you know, quicker than the beginnings usually in this. This in the 5,000 meters, it's the chess match.
Yeah, the 45 laps, a lot longer of a race, a little bit more of a waiting game in the beginning, letting the laps tick by. Unless teams are going for a world record from time to time, it's not typically a super blistering pace from the beginning. However, those laps add up in terms of wear on the track, and that usually causes some additional excitement and chaos in the finishes of the race as the track wears down.
And once the commitment is in, the laps really start to tick down quickly. Adam Hill Jr. on the ice for the Royals, one of the newcomers on World Tour. Dan Koss behind him. And then just a subtle move up into third by Watanabe Keita.
Oh, here comes Natalini on the outside. He's wanting to get his team right to the front.
Seagal saying, okay, we're changing up the exchange, and so he's going to do it on this side.
Yeah. Natalini was on the outside as he was making that move. Seagal made that great quick decision to say, hey, I'm going to just wait till the next turn. I'm not going to be able to work my way through that crowd.
And now they get back on the same thing. So good look at some of the communication that you don't always get to see, but he was very obvious in that, do an extra half lap, I'm going in then.
Yeah. As Natalini's on the outside, just can't kind of cut through the other guys on the track. But obviously it's the strategy of the Italian Gladiators to be in the front for a little bit easier exchanges and cleaner exchanges rather than being back and forth.
Speckenhauser leading the way. He gets Natalini in. Thunborg in for the Dutch Lions. At the back there, always watching to see what they're going to do. Yoshinaga Kazuki.
Here comes the British Royals moving up into second.
The Ninjas do have relay hardware on the men's side this season. They did pick up a silver in Seoul into the last 30. Still the Gladiators are on the front. Shinky Connect getting up into second as he tags in Dan Koss.
Shinky Connect is a leader and a veteran of this Dutch Lions team. He's been on the circuit since 2010 or 2011 season, so he has experience. He's got medals of two-time overall world championship, Olympic medals as well.
Watanabe made the move up into third before getting Yoshinaga into the race, but now the Royals battle back into third, and it's Niall Tracy in for them. Seagal on the front. Jens Vanetwat behind him, still a line astern. As the laps get progressively faster, bit by bit by bit. Now another move up into second. Hayashi Kosei, or into third rather. Speckenhauser on the front. He takes the glances over the shoulder as the Ninjas maybe think about second. Not going to do it there though. Didn't want to risk anything.
A lot of jostling. Those skaters right now trying to move up into second behind the Gladiators, but the Dutch Lions are holding strong.
And the opportunity to move up position on the exchange, not just there.
Well, now that we're inside 20 laps, this is usually we see things starting to heat up.
Skaters already lined up on the inside.
There goes Shinky Connect, setting up, jumping up the inside. Nice quick inside pass by Shinky.
Hayashi Kosei looking to follow in his wake, not able to do it just yet for the Japanese ninjas. And now the complexion has changed. The complexion has changed orange on the front. Dan Koss.
Quick lap times now, those mid-8s.
They're pretty wide open. 4 teams all together.
Here come the Royals.
Up into third. Ninjas fight back and takes third right back again. Sets them up to an awkward exchange. So there was a little gap that opened up to the Gladiators.
Well, you got to be so aware. If you see your teammate making a pass into that exchange corner, you got to quickly adjust your order as you go into that exchange. Not easily done.
Hayashi right up, making the move for second, and he gets in there. Just enough opening. Oh, you love it. Oh, down go the Royals. Not sure if there was a collision there.
No, just going down on his own. Quick take up by Tracy.
And the Gladiators trying to battle back into second. And that's allowing the Lions to break off a little bit, but the Ninjas go down.
Same corner again.
Now it's that back corner, it seems.
Well, now we have a 2-horse race, so these teams can kind of relax a little bit. They're clear.
They are all but guaranteed to go into the A final if they can just keep it going. And
the Royals
there's an issue on the Royals exchange. I'm not sure if a skater was prepared for it, and he went into the boards.
Well, there may only be 2 teams here, but I can guarantee you the Dutch Lions are still going to want to win this relay semifinal.
And a bit of a message, and short the expectations on home ice. The Ninjas didn't end up losing a lap out of that, but they're about 3/4 of a lap down.
Here's the gun.
One more exchange. Keep it drama-free, and these 2 teams are in the final. And it's Jens van het Wout, Pietro Siegel. Not a bad way for these 2 teams to finish. And it is Jens van het Wout. A quick glance through the legs. Siegel is there, but he's not going to trouble him. Van het Wout, thumbs up. Doing his best Fonzie impression. Hey, and then the Dutch Lions go through.
Well, at the end of these long days, the ice has taken a lot of abuse. It's had a lot of flood, it's had a lot of races on it. That softens the ice up a bit, and I think that's partly a result of a couple of the crashes that we saw in this relay with the Royals and the Ninjas.
This time it's the opposite corner from what has been the trouble spot this weekend.
You know, there's a lot that goes up, or a lot that goes on with the setup of these events. This is not an arena that typically hosts short track speed skating. So they got to bring in all the mats, they got to bring all the signage, they have to redo all the ice to put in the short track, the World Tour sign in the middle. Here's another look at the race. There's the Royals going down.
Sorry, you were saying.
Well, just saying that when you're doing all that work to set up a facility that doesn't normally host, it's a lot of vehicles coming out on the ice. Well, you know, we've seen boom lifts coming out, and that can often track dirt onto the ice as well. That can get embedded in the ice, and that causes skaters to strip edges and just lose the ability to turn as they're used to on their blades.
Semi-final number 1. We just saw the Lions and Gladiators go toe-to-toe for women's relay gold, and there they were going first and second. Once again, the Dutch out on top. Not as close as the women's race, though, but... And so they will race for the medals tomorrow now. Heat 2 out on the ice already. Canada, Belgium, China, Hungary. Ice Maples, Ice Bears, Lungs, and Falcons. And it was the Canadians taking the first 2 relays of the season in Montreal. The Chinese Lungs battled back to take the next 2, albeit with much different rosters than what they have here.
Second starting position for the numbers 10.
And just taking a look at some of them. So we already know the Ninjas won't be in the A final. The White Tigers are not here. So 1 country remains from the podium in Korea. And if the Lungs don't move on, then it will be a whole new podium.
Fourth starting position for the Hungarian Falcons.
Felix Roussel to start for the Canadians. Ward Petre for the Ice Bears.
Go to the start. Red.
Bence Nogradi starts for the Falcons. And Lee Kun for the Lungs. Looks like Donjanu is next to go for Canada. Not bad when you can have him as your second skater.
Well, the second skater is the finishing skater in the relay. So while he's going out second now, that means he will be finishing the race for the Ice Maples. The Ice Bears, yesterday, the Belgian Ice Bears had a terrific relay to get through to this semifinal.
A skater like Dubois, he tends to anchor the mixed relay, but so what's his role if he's not anchoring this race?
Well, a few things. First off, the mixed relay, more of a speed race like we talked about. Stephen Dubois with 3 500-meter World Tour victories this season. He is, you know, pure sprint, right? So he's the guy that you want in the sprint relay because he can bring the heat, he can bring the speed. Now, in the men's 5,000-meter relay with the likes of Stephen Dubois in third position, what you're looking for him to do is try to open a gap for your finishing 2 skaters to get a bit of a lead on the pack so they can skate a little bit more clear of the rest of the field. So if Stephen Dubois can use his speed in that third spot, perhaps against some skaters that don't quite match his speed, then he can create some separation.
Still nothing just yet, but we have a long ways to go.
Well, as we saw in the previous relay, you don't need passes to create incidents. They can just happen right now. So,
end of the day, even with all the flooding and everything, at this time of day, the ice just sort of keeping together with duct tape and hope.
I hope it's not held with duct tape out there.
Thinking underneath.
Yeah, okay. But on that, like, this is typically a hockey rink. This would be all lines of a hockey rink where they've cleared out all that ice and put this ice surface in.
Those hockey players leave a mess, you say?
Yeah, well, they're not going to be having games anytime soon.
Zhang Bohao taking a look up the inside of Donjanu, but more than happy to just settle in for now. Stan Desmet on for the Ice Bears. Moon Wonjun just checking in for the Falcons on the back, and it is Dubois talking about him on the front right now. Maxime Lahoud, not a bad skater to bring in. As someone who has won an Olympic gold medal in the relay.
He has a ton of experience in this event, so he's one of those veteran skaters on the Ice Maples team. Great to see him here on the World Tour. He wasn't competing in the fall.
He was in individual events, but almost a relay specialist in this case. Donjanu, Zhang Bohao right behind him. Stan Desmet seeing a little bit of a gap open up. And then it's Peter Yashapati. Inside 24. The engines are revving. Just waiting for the clutch to drop, and they will be off.
And if you're watching the lap times go by, these skaters are right now at 8.8, the fastest lap we've seen this weekend from Dubois at 8.0. So just to give you a frame of reference, the top speed that they're capable of is 8.0, but it's really difficult to achieve that at the end of the relay when the ice conditions are giving way. So those mid to low 8s is really going to be the top speed that we'll see these skaters going towards the finish of this relay.
Down under 19. Donjanu, Zhang, Desmet, Yashapati, and now they give way. And there's on the exchange that allows the Ice Bears to get into the lead. Nice example of that there.
Here's an example of Dubois putting a little separation on the field, getting the Ice Maples clear of the pack. That's exactly what they're hoping for.
Makes for a nice exchange, and back in second, the Lungs take it right back. Now closing up a little bit on Maxime Lahoud.
Down to the 8.5s now. Pace is picking up.
Falcons struggling to hang on. Lungs, regardless of who is on the team, they are a tight-knit unit, and this is the time of the race where sometimes incidents happens on their own without collision, but Danjanu fending off an attack as Dubois comes in, and now he really shifts. Time to add to that lead.
That's the strategy right there. If you get clear, you create a gap between second and third, then there's the opportunity for that third team to look to start to make a move, and that can cause more chaos and collisions that would slow those skaters down to widen your gap.
Force the teams behind you to start infighting, allowing you to go off into the distance. At the moment, Lee Kun on for the Lungs, and now the separation is just happening on its own. Ice Maples at full speed. Inside 8. Now seeing 7 is William Danjanu. Next time round, next time he's in, it will be to finish this thing off.
Dubois adding to that lead.
Now it is a battle for second with the Ice Bears getting right up there. Zhang Yuchan holding off.
Well, the Ice Bears finished with Stan DeSmit, so they can keep him in a position to compete for that second place. They're going to have a great opportunity to make their way to the final. That would be huge for the Belgian Ice Bears.
Really watching that battle right now. Ward Petre into the race. They miss a little bit on that exchange. I think it was a little bit behind.
We got one more exchange go. Make this clean.
DeSmet is in now, and he is tucked right up behind Zhang Bohao. But look out, here comes Peter Yashapati. It is William Danjanu. I don't think there is catching him. DeSmet lining it up.
On the outside, does he have the speed? He's going to cut inside here.
And he has the reach, and he takes it. I was wondering if he's saving for the inside. He is the taller, he has those long legs, and I think he did it.
What a stretch. It looks like he's got it.
So could be looking at a whole new podium compared to Seoul.
Well, what a weekend for the Belgian Ice Bears in this men's relay. 2 back-to-back races where they've just skated phenomenally well. Everyone's done their job for the team to get them through to the finals if this result stands.
Earlier move for second. We saw the Canadian skaters. You might not have seen it. They were congratulating some of the Belgian Ice Bears. The Belgians do a lot of their training in Montreal with that Canadian program. And that is the reach. And the celebrations from the Ice Bears. And wait! 2 thousandths of a second again. Is it the Chinese?
No, it's the Belgians. You look at the times there.
Well, yeah, I am, but it's just, is the Chinese skater's blade in the air?
It is, yeah. Yeah, there's the reaction to this result.
See, it was one of those times I didn't think it was that close. Like, I thought DeSmet had it, and it's the same time as the women's relay final, and that one felt like it was close.
What a tremendous success for the Belgian Ice Bears, and of course for the reigning Olympic champions, the Canadian Ice Maples in the A final. Together with Belgium.
That's a heck of a finish to day one.
Well, can't wait to see this final tomorrow.
Yeah.
Gladiators and the Dutch Lions.
Heartbreak for the Chinese Lungs. That ends up just being short of going into the A final. It's looking like it will be a whole new men's podium compared to the last World Tour stop. Canada, Belgium in the A final, Netherlands, Italy joining them. And into the B final. Lungs, Falcons, Ninjas, Royals. Quest for points as well continues, but that is how things wrap up from day one in Tilburg. I don't really know what more to say. Might as well just sign things off. It's hard to top the action that we saw today, but we will try to do that tomorrow. Of course, lots more to come on the penultimate stage of the ISU Short Track World Tour from here in Tilburg, Netherlands. So, until tomorrow, same start time for the repechage session. Wherever you are in the world, I will see you then on behalf of Tyler Dara, the entire crew, and everybody involved with putting this fantastic show together. My name is Gavin Day. Until tomorrow, goodbye.
Straks natuurlijk wel de mogelijkheid om misschien wel je grote heldin te ontmoeten. En daar een foto mee te maken, misschien wel een handtekening te scoren. Wij gaan nog eventjes kijken naar de grote schermen voor wat belangrijke boodschap van onze partners en sponsoren. Maar nogmaals, voordat iedereen weg is, heel erg bedankt. Kruipenstad, jullie waren geweldig vandaag. En ik mag het eigenlijk nooit zeggen in Tialf, maar ik mag hier altijd wel zeggen, houdoe!
Hier in Tilburg zijn we vaak in beweging. Omdat het leuk is en ook omdat het plezier geeft. Van jong tot oud, met elkaar en voor elkaar. Zo winnen we altijd. Dus doe ook mee, want samen fun, samen fit. Ga naar sportintilburg.nl om kans maken op een Daikin onesie? Daikin is de trotse hoofdsponsor van heel schaatsen Nederland. En heeft 25 officieel gesigneerde Team NL schaatsonesies weg. Ga snel naar daikin.nl/onesie, scan de QR-code en kans op jouw onesie.